This show is sponsored by Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcast and get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/Joey. That's huluplus.com/Joey. And by DollarShaveClub.com. Get high-quality razors sent to your door each and every month for a fraction of what you pay at retail. Now, go to DollarShaveClub.com/church. That's DollarShaveClub.com/church. Or just go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Dollar Shave Club banner. This show is also sponsored by NatureBox, where you can order great-tasting, healthy snacks right to your door. Snack smarter in the new year with healthy and delicious treats like Santa Fe corn sticks and French toast granola. Support this podcast and get 50% off. That's half off of your first order. Go to naturebox.com, promo code Joey. That's naturebox.com, promo code Joey. And again, thank you to naileditlife.com. For all of you oil and wax smokers out there, check out the premier vapor pen on the market at naileditlife.com. Don't forget to enter the discount code Joey Diaz. That's no spaces, Joey Diaz, and get 20% off of your order.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What do you know about that, Lee? What? Oh, shit. My uncle's in the house. Jerry LaMonaco's in the house. It's a special Tuesday night, Wednesday morning type podcast to get your shit going. Go, Lee. Browse that motherfucker. You're going to dance tonight. You're slipping. Oh, shit. Lee already ate a half an edible. He's going to finish the other piece. I got my uncle going nuts on the bongos over here drinking water. Fire water. What they tell him in 48 hours? Fire water, motherfucker. What's up? What's happening, Lisa? Feels fine. Go, Lee. Tuesday night, you ain't doing dick. You're at home contemplating killing yourself. Who the fuck are you kidding? Sit down, smoke a bone, kick up, and let's do this shit. Oh, shit. Kick it, Lee. Crank that motherfucker, Lee. Whoa. Oh. Oh, motherfucking shit tonight. Lower that, Lee. You're killing me here. You're supposed to be DJ Melly Mel.
You know,
what's happening, brother?
I don't even need the headphones because Theo's just keeping the beat. No, that was great. I was down. I didn't need the headphones.
Uncle Lazaro's dropping it. Lee, where you been all day? You don't call. You're all day you're unpacking. What are you fucking unpacking?
What do you mean unpacking? I've been here all day.
What'd you pack up? What the fuck did you pack up? I've been talking to you for a week now. I gotta go home and unpack. I gotta go home and unpack. What do? You take one cup out and then you watch ESPN. You smell the hummus. You eat some chips. Did you pack the juicer?
Yes. You just asked me that question, cocksucker.
Who loves you more than me? How you doing? Everything all right? You have a good day today?
I had a great day today.
What'd you do today?
Had a podcast with Rick Ramos. Had a podcast with Josh Wolf and Sarah Colonna.
All right. What'd you do in between that?
I went home, had lunch, unpacked a little bit, and took a nap.
Any jumping jacks? How long was the nap for?
About 45 minutes.
What'd you dream about?
About a life where I didn't have people bothering me all the time with questions.
Nobody fucking bothers you, right, cocksucker?
Dude, how could I have to unpack in a day. If I move somewhere, I can't fuck around. If I can't go to bed with a box full of shit still.
It drives me crazy.
Right? I just got to do it all done. Get it all out of the way.
I know how Lee is. He packed everything. He packed posters.
Of course you do. What are you going to do? Throw it away?
House the other day. He had Goodfellas out. He had more fucking Hollywood pictures than Hollywood. It's like man's Chinese theater over there.
Yeah, I like movie posters.
You connect all your movie posters? That's pretty neat, Lee. How long you been collecting them for?
No, just a year. I would usually buy new ones every time I moved, but I haven't bought new ones yet.
And you buy the post and they frame it for you?
Sometimes that was new. I usually went to Target and bought the cheap poster frames, but I actually got a couple.
And you make your own frames?
No, just the plastic ones at Target.
And you do those yourself, is what I'm saying. You don't take it to a frame.
No, yeah. It's just a cardboard. It's just a cardboard back, and you put little plastic things on the sides. Just I'm too old to have like tape on the walls.
My uncle's in the house tonight. What's up, Theo? Everything all right?
Everything is okay.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Uncle, how old are you now?
75.
You look fucking great. I was looking at you walking. Yeah, he looks good. He walks 5 miles in Griffin Park every day.
You have to.
How long you been doing that for, Theo?
Long time.
How long?
40, 50 years.
You've been walking 5 miles a day at Griffin Park.
Well, sometimes more, sometimes less. Depend how you feel.
That's amazing.
You have to. You know, you sleep good. You can go more. You sleep a little. You just go a little
bit. That's
3
amazing.
miles, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 miles.
And you believe walking is the best exercise there is?
You don't need Obamacare if you walk.
That's true.
You don't need a doctor.
That's true. Straightens out your whole spine, straightens out your back.
That is,
No pressure on your knees, like people who run like idiots, just running as fast as they can, where you're just trashing your knees to hell by doing that, especially on concrete. You're crazy. You know, just walking. You 5 miles a day, forget it. That you'll be fine. You will be fine. If you walked 5 miles a day, that every day you would be in tremendous shape.
When I lived in New York, I walked a lot from
You have to.
94 when I went back to New York. My body wasn't still in shock. I was still in that walking shape.
Yeah.
From being in high school and growing up, that it's amazing the damage I used to do. I used to walk over the George Washington Bridge and sometimes just walk from 175th down. Just walk till I couldn't do it no more. That was like 148th, 143rd. That's 50 fucking blocks on a bridge. That's 50 blocks on a bridge.
And
That's
the
3
bridge.
hours of walking, you know?
I would walk on purpose. Why? Because I didn't have a car when I lived in Queens. And I would just take the train, would drop me right off at Times Square, and I would go all the way down to the Village. I would go all the way up to Spanish Harlem sometimes. And that was, I mean, if I had a day where I had nothing to do, I had a show late at night, fuck it, that's what I would do. I lost the most weight I've ever lost in my life just with a year that I lived in New York City. Because walked, that's all I did. And you just, you end up liking it. Like, you actually end up, like, loving it. Like, I stepped in homeless people's shit. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to keep walking. I'm having too much fun. Like, I'm just going to scrape it off as I go. I don't care. I'm going to keep going.
What made you start walking, Theo?
I don't know. I guess I got that from Cuba.
You used to walk a lot in Cuba?
Run in Cuba, run. I ran a lot.
Wow.
From the police.
No, you didn't, Theo. No, but you used to run a lot in Cuba on the beach as a kid, or?
I practice just go to the park. I used to go to the ballpark. Okay, and see the ball players stretching out, you know. And I look at them, I say, oh, they run and they walk back. Let me try that. I play a lot of baseball in Cuba.
What year did you come here, Theo?
1956.
Wow.
December 16, 1956.
Damn.
9 days before Christmas in a new fucking country.
One day
Imagine
before
that.
my birthday.
Yeah, your birthday's a
So how Americanized was Cuba when you were living there? Because that's when it was still a big tourist spot, right? Like, that was Americans, like Godfather 2. Americans were there all the time, weren't they?
Oh, yes. You know, I start talking about Cuba, and a lot of the Cubans won't like about, you know, my views.
Right.
So it's to me, it's...
Who gives a fuck? That's
I saw,
People
I saw
don't
a
like
lot of
my
shit.
views.
I saw a lot of, you know, a lot
No.
of crap in Cuba.
Before,
When I was living in Cuba, yes.
right, before Fidel came.
I didn't know Fidel from, you know, from
And
Adam.
Cuba still sucked dick.
Cuba, a few people had all the money, and a lot of people were poor. Sometimes I go play baseball, I come home, nothing to eat, nothing. I send my little brother, hey, go get me some bread from some lady that buy a lot of bread and bring me a couple of pieces of bread. And sometimes I send him a couple of times. He said, well, you already sent me one time. She don't have no more bread. I said, well, try again. And she'll go and she'll get it.
That's the thing, that when it's that poor, like, you know, I told you my whole family's from Mexico. We would always go my family's from Laredo, Texas. We would always go to Nuevo Laredo. And when I was a little kid, my great grandpa would take me to go get a haircut when I was like 4 years old. And I would go play soccer in the streets with these little kids. You can't do that now. Like, there's no way a white-looking kid could go. He would get kidnapped or whatever, because it just got so bad. And so remember that scene in Godfather 2 when they're stuck in traffic in Havana,
Right.
and the rebel jumps into the police car and blows it up, and Michael says, well, that's why they're going to win, because he's not getting paid to do that.
He's not getting paid to do that.
He's doing that. He's not getting a paycheck for that. That's when those countries are so poor, they have to have something to turn to. You know, you have to have something to rally around, whatever, to give you any kind of hope. And even if it's the wrong dude, if he gives you that little bit of hope, you're just going to run with it. It's scary.
It's amazing how in my whole life I've met two people who said Cuba was no paradise before Fidel. You and this Panamanian lady in New Jersey said that Cuba was even worse. That it was very racist.
Yeah.
Yes.
He spoke about how racist it was.
Police will beat you up in the corner. The
For
police
no
will
reason.
come and you see 3 or 4 guys standing up, you know, just talking in the corner. That's the way you do in Cuba. And the guy say, I don't want to see no more than 2 people standing here, so go.
And Batista's regime was that bad too.
Right.
Gee.
Well, he took over by force in 1952.
And who did he take over from?
A guy named Brio.
And how bad was he?
I don't know. I was just a kid. Who cares? Whatever. But I used to. There was no water. No water. You have to. My mother have to fill up bottles from 10 to 11 at night, because the water gets shut down at 12 o'clock. That's it. No water. So you get all kinds of bottles of water and you just fill them up. That used to be the deal. Now, I was in Cuba in '79 as a tourist. I went down there to see my family. I got arrested. So, you know, you can say things about Batista, but then I go to Cuba and they take me to dinner. We went to that beautiful town, Varadero, where they had the beautiful beach in Matanzas. And we're standing outside a restaurant there. And the restaurant is closed, 4 o'clock. And we see the people moving things inside. So here comes this black guy from Cuba, and he started talking to my sister, you know. And he says, let me go talk to the manager here, see what's going on. So he goes inside the restaurant, and I hear an argument. I said, well, let me go inside and see what happened. The black guy was arguing with you got these people outside, it's raining. And I told the black guy, hey, let's get out of here, man. And the manager said, you shut up. Me? I said, you're full of shit. And I walked outside. So 5 minutes later, he opened up the restaurant. We went inside to eat. We eat it, and then they come the police. I see the guy pointing at me and pointing at the black guy. Policeman come and he told me, finish eating. I'm gonna have to arrest you. And my sister get up and say, why? Why charge? Well, he said some things about Fidel Castro.
Wow.
I told my sister, well, I can't eat anymore, so let's go. The guy said, let me have your passport. This policeman, let me get your passport. So and he says, I cannot take him in my police car because he's not from here. But he had to follow me. So I follow the guy to the police station. I go over there, we sit around. My mother was there too, your grandma. She was there.
My grandmother.
Yes, just sitting around. All of a sudden, they come 3 guys. He said, okay, you come with us. The guy, we drove around Havana for about 15 minutes. Then he stopped in this house, knocked on the door. Agustin! The guy started yelling, Agustin! And I'm like, what the fuck is Agustin? Agustin opens up the door, and I see him like wiping up his eye like he was sleeping. Say, he told, I got one for you here. One for you. Shit. So we go into a little room like this. Agustin is he's sitting down there. And I'm here. And I'm trying to make conversation to get the feeling of what's happening. And I tell Agustin, this is a beautiful day, huh? And the guy don't look at me. This is beautiful. Don't I? The guy would look at me. I said, what the hell is going on?
Shit.
Nothing. All of a sudden, 3 more guys came in. Gotta go to immigration. Oh, they took me to immigration. There was this little black guy over there, officer. What did you say at the restaurant to this man? Because he said you said that Fidel Castro sucked dicks. I said, no. I said, I don't care what that guy said. He can say anything he wants, but I didn't say what he said. I said, that's all. Then the policeman says, the guy from immigration, I don't believe you and I don't believe this guy. Get him out of here. Back to the station. So they let me go. But they said, you're going to have a trial tomorrow. 9 o'clock in the morning. Trial for what? Because of what you said. So 9 o'clock, you guys have to be here. I don't have no passport, so I have to, I have to do it. So we went. I saw a lot of little trials, like somebody stole a chicken from somebody. People just and say,
Civil court.
Well, yeah.
Judge Judy over there.
Judge Judy.
So it's 3
Judy
o'clock.
types.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're still there. And I said, can I speak to the judge, please? He said, okay. I go in this room. I ask, listen, where I come from, if there's no accuser, I go.
Yeah.
He says, no, we're going to go get that guy. You're going to find him. Oh, we know he's okay. There comes the guy around 3:30, 4 o'clock. And the trial starts. They call the black guy because he accused the black guy also. But the black guy was communist. Black guy stand up. They ask him, what did you say? What did he say? The black guy said, listen, whatever this fool says, if Lazaro has said what this guy said he says, I would have cracked his head wide open.
Right.
He says, I'll just sit there. So the guy sat down. They called the policeman. The policeman name had my same name. The guy hitting his sergeant. So I said, they asked the policeman, was Lazaro drunk? No. Was Lazaro angry? No. Was Lazaro talking loud? No. So it's okay, sit down. Now they call me. And they asked me, well, what do you said there? I said that this guy was, I said, I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I say, but he said, say it. I say, he come mierda. It's full of shit. That's what I say. And the judge said to me, listen, the country where you came from, maybe they talk that way, but not in Cuba. And I wanted to tell the judge, I learned it here, but I couldn't. I still be in Cuba with a long beard, probably. If I would have, hey, Judge, I learned that here. I didn't learn it in the United States. We don't use words like that in the United States. Come mierda.
You don't say that here. Come mierda.
So they told me to get out.
That's amazing that we here could talk. Like, there's sometimes when I hear people talking about the president, whether it's Obama, whatever, bad mouthing Bush years ago. The Bush fucking beaters came out the last 2 years. The Indigo Girls, where the fuck are they today?
Yeah.
They can't even rent the fucking studio. They can't even do fucking theater anymore with their fucking guitars. For speaking of, what happened to the Indigo Girls? Weren't they the ones that talked about Bush?
Dixie Chicks too.
Dixie Chicks too.
Yeah.
What the fuck? They're done. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Like those fucking hairy pussy band in Russia without
Pussy
the new
Riot.
chucks. The pussy.
Pussy Riot.
How many times they got beat up?
Yeah, man. They don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around.
But you
over
know
there.
what's different though? What's different is
What's
a
going
lot
on
of
with that edible? No.
a lot of
One little
people.
piece yelling your
You want
name.
another one?
That's yelling his name. He's got to finish that. But
There you
people
go.
at home,
I got it right here.
Lee hasn't finished one. He had a quarter on Monday. I let him go. He never walked on Monday. He didn't even get the $100 bill from me. I sent him on a mission. I go home on this edible so you don't go fall asleep and get hot. I go walk to Ventura in the sun and walk
I
back.
took a walk.
You didn't walk to Ventura, but I followed you. I
Such a
followed
Jew.
you, cocksucker. You know I'm a Jew. I ain't gonna give you a yard.
I did too walk to
You walked.
Ventura.
You walked. You got to the front of your house. You looked around. You looked at the rain cloud like by Orange County. You ran back inside like a Jew, and you said, "Fuck it, it's gonna rain now." I don't eat this shit. You don't think I know, but I know. Eat that gumi. It's
I ate the gummy
So
on
all
my-
it would have taken was one person to have lied and said, "No, he said that about
that's
Castro,"
it.
and
That's it.
you're in
That's
prison.
how fast.
That's right.
It just one guy could have been full of shit. Just walked in. No, I heard him say that, and
If
that's
the
all.
black guy says anything like that, I'm good.
Now the black
good.
guy was a strict up communist.
Yeah, he was.
How
from
did you know
Cuba.
he was a straight up communist?
Because he said over there, he took all his papers. I belong to the Communist Party, so and so. And this kid has said what this guy said. He says, I would have cracked his head wide open right there where he was.
Wow.
So the judge said, hey, good.
How fucking lucky are we, huh?
Oh shit! That's what I think is. A lot of people here like to watch news stories and complain about, and yeah, a lot of people do get fucked over by cops here. But a lot of you see these blogs of we're living in a police state. No, we're not. That's a police state. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, there are definitely cops who fuck people over and brutal, but we still have certain freedoms here that you just can't get anywhere else. It's amazing how they, it's.
I never knew it was like that in Cuba
Right.
until I knew some guys that came in '79, and they were living in San Francisco, and I was living in San Francisco in '85, and they were telling me stories about Cuba, and my fucking jaw dropped. And that's when I got a full appreciation for the whole.
Yeah.
I got appreciation for some Cuban things, but I also got a lot of appreciation for the American things that we were able to talk about. When we went that night and we met with Emmy, and we went to Cantor's Deli in Hollywood, we were talking about Stairway to Heaven, how they had an album and they had to pass it around. If you got caught with the album, you went to jail. And when they were singing it, I learned that night that, whether there's communism, whether you rock and roll, you can't hold it down. We weren't even talking about drugs or something bad. We were talking about music. That's when I learned the power of fucking music.
Look, there was, as racist as America was, right? Chuck Berry got his dick sucked by a lot of white chicks back in the 50s. You know what I mean? Chuck Berry got his dick sucked by a ton of white chicks. As racist as they probably were racist too. Hey, music, it just does
They
something to
probably
you.
spit the cum out of his mouth and said, "You fucking nigger."
Yeah.
As they ran away. They probably did. That's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but he got his dick sucked by he was banging white chicks all the time. He got in trouble.
You ever hear that? Remember years ago, Rogan had a bit about the most places where they watch mixed races is in the South having sex. That's where the biggest demand is for mixed race tapes. Yeah. White women fucking black guys, black guys fucking white women.
The Klan leader, you heard about this, right?
No.
This is the greatest story. You should Google this. The leader, one of the main guys in the fucking KKK, this maybe 2 years ago, got busted because he himself was filming just a train of black dudes fucking his wife all the time. He was filming it. He was putting these porns together. And it was the head of the Klan, the head of the KKK.
What would Fidel do to him?
Oh, my God.
What was that?
Letting some black guy fuck his wife 20 times over. And
It was like he had a room full of black dudes. Is that the guy? Is that the one, Lee? Is that who you're pulling up?
It didn't come up.
So before you came from Cuba in 1956, Cuba was already bad.
There were bombs exploding in restaurants. Fidel was beginning to, make noise. But what happened with me, it just shows that some guys want to be a hero. Like, hey, I found this guy, said something about Fidel. Maybe I was a big fish. I was nothing. Because even at immigration, listen how stupid this guy was, the immigration officer. He asked me, what kind of work do you used to do in Cuba? I said, well, I work in a theater. He says, you used to own it? What do you do? I said, I used to sweep the place. I mean, he don't check my age. I was old enough to own anything when I was in Cuba. I didn't even have a bicycle. So, yeah, the guy asked me, he's looking for a connection. Why I said what this guy said I said. He's looking for maybe this guy, we took his theater and he's pissed. And I wasn't pissed or nothing. But what he used to do is I used to clean up the place.
Now, how old were you when you came here, Theo?
19.
And you came by yourself?
Right.
And what did you have to do in Cuba in those days to come here? Just go to the fucking airport and go, I want to come to the United States?
No, you have to go through immigration, American embassy. They ask you a question, what you want to do, what is your plan. I want you to go to the doctor and get an x-ray to see if you're sick, got some kind of sickness. And that's it. But my auntie, she was the one that put the papers in.
And she lived in New York, you said?
Right, she lived in New York.
That was our grandmother's sister?
Right.
Right. And then you lived with her and my mother went off on her.
Oh, yes. There were 3 kids in there, and I wanted to stay, My cousins, I wanted to stay. But she says, no, there's no room for you here. I said, oh, shit. Then I call your mother. she called a woman and cursed her out.
That was the end of that.
That was the end of that.
Damn.
But you know, they call your mother after years after to see if she could get in her husband. The guy was in Canada, but he had tuberculosis. And if you had that kind of sickness at that time, you can come to this country. They will not allow you. Because that stuff, you just, I'll be talking to you and I breathe on you and I get
TB, yeah.
At that time, there was no cure. Now there's nothing. Now it's, they give you a shot of.
So in 1956, all you had to do was go to the fucking U.S. Embassy and go, I want to go to the United States. What's your plan? I'm going to get a job at a hotel.
Yeah.
Do you have any family? Yeah, yes, I do. Okay, boom, come by the fucking morrow. Can you imagine it? 1956.
1956.
And a lot of the people came from Cuba, went to Las Vegas, and got jobs in casinos, right? Or that was after 59 that Cuba shut down.
Yes, that's after 59. You saw a whole bunch of them. I'll tell you one thing. I was going to Cuba that same night. I left New York and I was going to Cuba. But I changed my mind and I came to California. I was working in New York for some guy called his name was Ralph Nelson. He was one of the producers for the Twilight Zone. And I used to work in this hotel over there. And the guy said, listen, I like you. Would you like to come to California and work for us? I said, okay. I said, well, okay, I'm going down there anyway. But actually, I was going to Cuba. But I changed my mind at the last minute.
You were going to go back home?
Yes, I
To
was.
stay? You were going to give up? That's it?
No. I just to visit. I wouldn't give up.
What was it like for Cuban people? Like, was it racist back then? What was it like for like a 19-year-old in a new country?
Here, it's been easy for me here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been easy for me. Everything is going just fine. I make money. Always work. Always.
Did you come to California or were you in New York?
New York.
New York, okay.
I didn't like New York. I didn't like the people. They were very cold, you know.
Yeah.
I live in a apartment house.
New York's a cold place.
They got 3 or 4 rooms in there, and
Yeah.
some guy is screaming in the hallway. And I tell this girl, let's open the door and help the guy. He said, no, we don't do that. We don't do that here. That's it. They just let the guy in the hallway. You know.
So you always worked hard, Theo. That's why there was kind of like from the time you got to New York, you were working.
Right.
And you were making money just the same way people come to this country and try to make a living. You weren't doing nothing wrong.
No.
You weren't like my mother. You weren't like your sister.
No.
You were just trying to make, and then you hooked up with this guy. You came out here.
Yeah, Rob Nelson.
Rob Nelson. Where'd you
I got
move to
over
then?
here.
Where'd you move to then?
I got over here and I called him. He told me, Lázaro, I got bad news for you. I have to go back to New York. They were staying at the Chateau Marmont.
Oh, wow.
That's what they
Wow.
were staying. He told me I'm staying here. He told me I got bad news for you. If you need any money, you want to go back, I'll give you some money. I said, no, it's okay. I'm okay. I'll stay here. That's it.
And you stayed.
I stayed.
And how long did it take you to get a job when you were here?
I don't know, maybe a month.
Wow.
2 weeks.
And where'd you sleep at first?
Hotel. The Cecil Hotel on 7th Man.
It's still there.
That was where they found that girl dead up there.
Up in the top of the thing,
Yeah.
right? In the tank.
Right there.
In the water tank or something, yeah.
Right
Remember that
there.
Asian girl who went missing? And then they found her dead body in the tank. And I think they still don't know who did it, right?
Yeah,
Did
they're not
they
sure.
Wow.
And how long did it take you to learn English? Because it's interesting to me because I started dating.
To me, what I used to do when I was in Cuba, I worked in a theater.
Okay.
And
I just watch some movies.
all the movies they show were American movies. So I would go behind with the screenings. They had a big speaker, and I stand back there just to hear, just to get used to, you know,
That's awesome.
and I would practice.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds to me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so. But something funny happened. I'm here 2 days, and I go in at a Mexican restaurant. I think it was on 7th Street, right on the corner. I figure, well, let me go eat down there. Spanish food. I didn't know anything about Mexican food, tortilla, nothing. Tortilla in Cuba is nothing but a couple of eggs. And
Right. It's different.
when I
It's
come
just
over
an
here,
omelet.
I come
That's
over
oh, really? Tortillas and omelet?
Yeah.
I come over
That's
here
hilarious.
and I said, let me have this and that. And the lady says, you want tortilla? I said, oh, come with this? Yeah. They bring the tortilla. I said, what is this? She says, tortilla. Try it. I said, this has no taste. Put it back. All of a sudden, there is this Cuban guy sitting right down there. Old guy. He said, hey, you Cuban? I said, yes. The guy was about 50 years old. And he sat on my table. He says, listen, I work at the Wilton Theater in the elevator. I know the guy in charge. He might give you a job.
Nice.
You want to go with me? I said, yeah, I'll go. We took the bus. We got to Western. I didn't know. The guy tell me, hey, the guy's not here.
That's great.
But I live 2 blocks away from there. Let's go over there and maybe he'll come back later. So I go to this Cuban guy apartment. I'm a youngster guy. All of a sudden he's sitting there. I saw a lot of checks around, you know. Cashier check. There's all this money doing it, you know. I said, what the hell is going on here? The guy had money all over. So the guy, all of a sudden he pulled out some pictures. Sex pictures. And right away I said, oh, this guy wants something else.
Oh, man.
I
Welcome
said,
to Hollywood.
I told her, hey, I got to go, man. You're the first Cuban I know here, and it's this way.
It's starting off bad. It's not...
The first fucking person I talked to, the guy he says, why don't you stay? You're going to sleep on the couch. I said,
Fuck you.
no, me. I said, you're looking for a husband. You're looking for somebody to fucking there. I'm out of here. I just shut the fucking. That
How
was
come
the
those
first
people? How come those people always find you at your lowest times?
No question.
They sniff that fucking vulnerability
Sadness.
right
They
out
sniff
of
the
you.
depression, the
Like,
fear.
well, maybe he's
whatever.
having a bad day. He'll suck my dick. Let me invite him over for
Yep.
juice. And then you get over there, you want to suck their dick, and they get depressed.
son of a bitch.
That is-
How scary is it, Theo, coming to a new country? I mean, I'm trying, while you're saying this story, I'm trying to think of 1985, getting on a plane and going to Colorado, not knowing nobody. Is it scary coming to a new country?
Not to me.
How old were you?
19.
19. Just turned 19.
So
You-
you probably didn't have time to be scared. You're just excited.
No, it's okay. I was happy-go-lucky all the
Yeah.
time. I have a lot of confidence, you know.
Yeah.
I learned English so fast. It was, fast. I learned like that.
Did you make it a point to learn English? Because I know the mom of the girl who I'm dating has been here for like 20, 30 years and just doesn't. In the neighborhood they live in, she doesn't have to. So like, did you make it a point to like not live with Cubans and only speak Spanish? And was it important to you? Because I know for Joey, you said your mom made it a point that you could speak Spanish inside the house, but outside to speak English.
Well, she had a good point for him. It helped you a lot. My kids, they don't speak Spanish real good. I mean, they get by, but you throw a word at them, and sometimes they have to call me. Hey, what does that mean? They can't find me. Forget it, But that's good. I had no problem. I did study some when I work in the theater. I used to get this book that belonged to your Uncle Louis. He passed away. He was a singer also. Uncle Louis was the best one. As a kid, he used to sing in churches and things.
Now, he wasn't your brother.
Yes.
Oh, he was your brother.
Yeah, my brother, the oldest brother.
Oh, wow.
He was a singer, man. That guy. He sent me some tapes from Venezuela years ago. Okay, he was in, what is it? He was engineer, some kind of engineer, electronic. He was one of the guys, he got into politics. Me, I didn't care about politics. But Uncle Louis, your grandmother called me and said, could you send some money so we can get Uncle Louis out of the country? He's in the embassy of Venezuela in Havana.
Sure.
So I sent him some money. Then I find out Uncle Louis and a group of Cubans blew up all the refineries in Havana.
Whoa.
They got together. He says, well, they didn't want Fidel Castro to get there. And when Uncle Louis came here, he asked me for some money. Hey, let me go to the United States. I said, well, why don't you bring your family? What you gonna do here all alone anyway? Nah, okay. We start talking. He says, this happened in Cuba, and I couldn't let the son of a bitch get all the... I said, yeah, but you didn't hurt him. You hurt the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he disagreed with me. I said, no, you hurt the people. You don't hurt Fidel Castro. They got tanks of gasoline in his house.
He'll be fine.
He didn't, you know. So he went back and he died. I don't know what kind of problem he had, but he refused to go to the doctor. He got him a doctor. No, I don't want to go. What's going on? Nothing.
Wow.
He died. They say he was screaming my name. That's what they told me. He was screaming my name.
He was still pissed off.
The doctor thought I was his father. Why is he screaming this guy's name for? He's calling his father. That's what they told me. Then after a while, they called me again to send some money to his wife in Venezuela, because they say he was in a hole. They put him in a hole. He died and they just dumped him in a hole. That's it. And his wife wanted to bury him. So I sent the money.
Wow.
Now, when did you get into music, Theo? How old were you when you first got involved in music?
After I came here.
Never in Cuba.
A little, very little. I used to see a lot of rumbas in Cuba, you know.
Did you ever
Next
entertain
door.
the idea? You ever thought I could do this?
My brother married the girl that lived in this, they call in Cuba, Solar, which is a place like this with rooms, but only one bath. So you live here.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, Solar. So they used to have rumbas there, and I used to see crazy people dancing and falling down on the floor and twisting. You've seen it. You know, when they play the music, they start looking up, looking crazy, and then they just, boom, fall to the ground and roll and roll. And I used to see that. But then I get here. I tell you what, when I came here in 56, in 59, I came down here. They had some conga players. But they didn't know anything, man. I saw it just, when the Cubans got over here, forget it.
Taught them how to do it.
All those guys just, they were afraid. You know, me, I didn't play for too long. I bought a business, $1, bought a business and got some money from SBA. I got a bar. You see the place.
How long have you had it?
40 years, 41
Wow.
years.
40 fucking years.
40 years. I'm gonna die there and probably come out and pinch the woman's in the ass, bro. Do something.
So you were a musician, you got married, that type
married.
of stuff.
Right.
And then after that you had a family, so you said, fuck the music, I gotta make a living, and you...
Right. The music was $25 a night and bang my hands like an animal. You have to be an animal to play those damn drums, you know. Now I have some good friends that play music, like my son's godfather, Modesto Duran. He was a great person. Died coming out of my business, you know. He was also a great player. He had some albums, everything. Francisco Ababella, he passed away a couple of years ago. Mongo Santa Maria, he passed away also. Kiki Travieso, he worked with me there, passed away. Everybody's gone, man. I'm one of the few Cubans here. They can tell you about the past and tell you about the present, okay? Not many people can tell you that here. And if they do, they will lie to you. Because I came here before Fidel Castro. I can tell you everything before Fidel Castro. I couldn't tell you too much after because I've been here. But I can tell you what was happening. People don't like that. You can probably find maybe 10, 15 people. You know.
That's amazing. And what band were you? I don't know if I told Jerry this. You were in the band with the lady.
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
Oh,
And
wow.
they opened up
Yeah.
for the Stones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
And,
the Stones.
Man, that's badass.
In '78, I was working already at my business, and some guy came and say, "Let's go." Another guy named Valdez, he used to play trumpet and conga drum. He went to see me. Let's go over there. We need a lot of people. About 40 drummers up there. We used to open up this. Man, we just rocked the place. I got sold out for, I think it was 7 nights. Sold out every night, 22,000 people at the forum. And they used to throw joints. I mean, we were playing behind this glass, and the guy, joints. Oh, my buddy, pick it up. Stop it. That was fun, you know.
Yeah, we always goof around, and we meet at Langer's and we crack jokes. And he always tells me the same story. And it's one of those stories that, I came out here in '73, and I got to see my uncle in action. He had fucking 3 jobs.
Yes.
3 fucking jobs, And I went to all 3 jobs, and he had a family, and I forget where the fuck he lived or whatever. And then I didn't see my uncle for a while. Then my mother died. And my uncle flew to New Jersey, and my uncle was like, "What the fuck is this?" And the whole time my uncle would look at me, and now it's like night number, because the wake was like 5 nights, right there. It was like a fucking weekly tour.
Yes. Wow.
She died on a Tuesday, and they didn't bury her till Monday.
Wow.
So it was 5 nights of fucking viewing,
Oh, man.
right?
Well, your stepfather, he told me that the reason they waited because they thought I could make it in time. That was his explanation. But we were standing together right next to her. You called me. You went to the side and called me. "Hey, Tio, you smell something. Do you smell something?" I said, "What?" And we went with, she was laid out, and I smelled something. So I asked you, "Step, what is that? What the hell? Did they do a bad job on her? What is it?" He says, "No, there's some animals." "What animals?" "They got some animals."
Like chickens and fucking dead roosters under her fucking casket.
No.
Yeah, it was crazy. The Santeria was alive and kicking. But, whenever I think of my uncle, I think of 2 situations. The one when he came in that day. How many people were at the house?
A lot of people.
There was a lot. Like, it was like, you really can't describe it. It's such a dark time for me, but it's such a hysterical time. Like, if we ever did a movie, it's going to be the funniest
Right.
death scene ever. My house.
I remember.
It was, and it was like from Juan came, and then a friend of my mother's came, and then 50 fucking people there. And it's November 10th. It's freezing in New York. The door is wide open, and people coming and going. And then people started saying, she said if she ever died, I could take the lamp.
Oh, man.
That shit started happening. And I'm sitting there,
fuck.
I'm a fucking kid, and I'm sitting there going, it doesn't matter. Take the fucking lamp. She's dead, at that point.
Right.
And I didn't even believe she was dead. At that point, 8 hours after you find the body, you're still in shock. I didn't believe
course.
it. But there was one scene where there was a lady who had had a stroke, and her face was twisted.
Oh, yeah.
And she had like a dead little hoof hand. She was a Santeria lady from the Bronx. She showed up. And at one point, I remember like my stepfather's in the kitchen, Lazarus and me are talking. I look up the stairs and I see her walking with like a Macy's bag, with like her little limp, and I see Juan rush to this lady. Because my stepfather just didn't give a fuck. He rushes to it, and she's like, "See you guys later." He goes, da, 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 da. He grabs the bag, and he takes 2 dresses out. And under the dresses, there's 2 minks
Of your mother's.
of my mother's. And the lady just turned pale. She's like, "She said if anything ever happened, I could have her minks." And he just went off. Like, this was like it was just a crazy. This is
man.
a fucking movie. Like, I remember going to. She died, I went to breakfast, I called my uncle, I called her friends, and then they told me to go to a funeral parlor in Union City to identify her. I'm fucking 15. I gotta go identify her, and then they go, "Where do you want to bury her?" And I go, "You know what, right here."
Right.
I go, where do you want to see her? I go, right here. I go home. I'm relaxing. In 2 hours, some fucking guy comes over. Some Cuban guy with a suit and a dark guy, handsome. And he goes, can I talk to you for a second? He goes, listen, man, I know you already made a commitment to that guy in Union City, but when I got here to this country, my first Christmas, I had no money for Christmas toys.
I met those guys.
And your mother and your father bought my kids Christmas toys.
Oh, nice.
And they never asked for the money back. So we want her to bury her at our funeral parlor. And I had to call the people and go, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then it was a Cuban funeral parlor, which a white funeral parlor, it's 2 to 4 for the viewing, and 5 to 7. Cuban funeral parlor is 24 fucking hours.
All day.
And people show up when the fuck they want to. So it's day 3. And me and my uncle laugh about this story constantly. It's packed with flowers. There was fucking flowers everywhere. She knew everybody, the people at the track, the people at the taxi cab company, the people at the OTB track and betting. I mean,
everyone's there.
Mayors, because in that area, if you paid a politician at one time or another, they send you flowers.
Right.
So there was mayors, and all of a sudden there was a gay guy, and his name was Martin.
Oh, that guy.
And his name was Martin the Fag. Everybody
Of course it was.
It kind of spells it out. Makes it pretty clear what you're getting into.
Everybody in the neighborhood called him Martin the Fag. His brother owned the bodega in the corner in North Bergen, guys, this is an Italian neighborhood, and this guy owned a Cuban place on the corner of Liberty Avenue, which is heavy duty.
Yeah.
And he sold Cuban steak sandwiches out of it. That's why they fell in love with him. It's like that Mexican joke you do. I hate Mexicans, but
right, that food's good, baby.
Ain't bad, So Martin the Fag was a Santeria guy, but he also sold coke.
Wow.
And years later, I ended up robbing him. Okay, and he put the whammy on me and shit. Right, so it was hysterical. He's at the tell him, Theo. So we're at the thing. Just tell him what happened.
Well, one of the funniest thing was when they took the body out of the funeral parlor, and somebody's carrying some pot full of water, some water. I guess it has something to do with Santeria stuff. And somebody's match. Everybody was, standing there looking that way, and somebody from behind just smashes this pot right on the
Smashed.
people started screaming because they didn't want to be touched with that water.
Right.
It was like death water. Man. That's like That's like when Israeli Jews jump in the water, that water in the tub. They throw at people. They put the maluk on it.
You should have seen the people making it. Everybody's screaming. Ah! I said, what the hell? Even me, I said, what the hell is it? I just think, oh.
Man.
But the other problem was when they got to the cemetery. No, there was another problem before that.
No, I want you to tell them the story about Martin the Fag when he went crazy at the funeral parlor.
That guy. We're standing there with him. And this guy is telling his mother, you beautiful girl. He's got this little brush.
No.
You so beautiful.
To your mother?
She's dead. She's in the casket.
You beautiful.
What the fuck?
I love you. Look at you. You look so beautiful.
Oh, God.
The guy started punching the walls and knocking all the
He was a white guy
down.
acting black.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Take me instead.
She was
all
my
that
sister.
shit.
Take me instead.
Yeah, take me.
This guy. I think the guy closed the funeral parlor. Hey, you gotta get out.
That ended the party.
Because this guy kept punching.
Party's over.
He kept punching the walls and knocking everything down. He went crazy. He was from wall to wall, just banging on everything.
What's up with the gumi though?
That's crazy.
I never forget.
I mean, neither.
So this guy had probably the biggest reaction out of any family, out of anybody, right? He reacted.
No, there was a couple people that had drama. There was people that were.
Right.
It was a 24-hour.
What I don't
funeral.
understand is how hard that must have been on the family because
What fucking family? It was me and him.
I know that. How can you mourn?
We were just sitting there going
Exactly.
like,
You're in shock.
Listen,
You can't mourn. You're just in shock.
Listen to me.
You have to host.
This is a man that'll tell you stories about 148th Street. When I told him I was going to beat this conga player up when I was there at the Santeria party. Yeah. So he knew the madness of it. That's why he didn't live in New York.
Right.
Because he loved his sister. But the madness, if he ever tastes you, if we ever get together for lunch and we have hours, like we can't go into this. We don't have enough hours.
Right.
The magnitude of her life. how big of a person she was. Like, nothing was, she would give you a $10,000 bracelet, and you would just sit there and go, why are you giving me this? Because I bought it and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, come with me to a Yankee game, I'll give you $5,000. Like, stupid shit, but that was her way of saying I love you. And you know, she was generous, she was retarded, whatever. So the funeral was not going to be anything light of. First of all, guys, I'm telling you, it was a 24-hour wake. That means that we had shifts.
Right.
So
you cover the morning, you get the evening.
And then a couple of nights, I just said, why am I going to go home? I didn't want to stay in that house by myself.
Yeah.
I just found my mother in the kitchen, so why would I want to go?
Right.
So I'd sit there, and at 2 a.m, you had to see the people that came in there from the bars.
Wow.
With flowers and a bottle of scotch.
And I bet that was probably heavy because she owned a bar, didn't she? So all those dudes started hanging. Yeah.
These were the people that, you know, in those days there was a Cuban community, and it started on 57th and Hudson. There was El Brindi, there was all El Café Loatita, El Club 38. These were all Cuban bars, and these customers would go from bar to bar to bar, and they drop money. The same, you know, the same way Henry and his buddies.
Yeah,
Henry and his buddies, Henry Hill and his buddies went to 15 bars, and the last bar they went is where they could run a tab.
Right.
And then they would work the tab scam. But in those days, that's where you just saw all those people would show up at 3 a.m. And I remember being there at 3 a.m. and seeing people at the funeral parlor doing cocaine, telling stories
in front of the body.
Yeah, giving the body bumps. What in front of the body? What? Look at them. What in front of the fucking body? I'm talking about giving bumps to my mother, talking to her and crying and putting coke. Everybody who showed up. Let me tell you something. If they exhume her body today, she's got to have 25 bottles of Pinch. The bottles of Pinch. Minimum 25 of those little ones, probably 5 of Johnny Walker, something black or red. There's got to be fucking an ounce of blow in $20 bindles. Weed, Santeria stuff, you know, swimwear.
All that's gonna be.
Yeah, she took everything with her. Swimwear, jewelry. She took everything with her. They gave her everything. All those people that would come late night would put cocaine in there and fucking coke rocks and fucking machine guns and a knife. So you had to fight a leopard in the other life. It's just amazing. It really is.
I love those
amazing.
Mexicanos do that too a little bit. You put things in and you're like, what are they going to need this for? They're not going to need a rifle to do anything. You're giving them a gun in their casket.
Every time we get together, it always comes back to that funeral. Because it was 5 days of madness.
Wait, now, what about the other, like, was there a rivalry with the other bars in the block, or was everybody cool? They were all cool?
No, there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
Everybody was making money. Everybody was doing something illegal. Those people knew how to do business because they did business and they didn't shake up. They tried to do it.
Nobody rocked the boat.
Nobody rocked the boat. And that's why when they did rock the boat, they got pissed because they didn't want no problems there.
Right.
At those bars. There were 5 or 6 Cuban bars.
But there's always somebody that fucks it up.
This was a Union City, an Irish bar, that neighborhood that they didn't want any problems. Now there's no Cubans left. Now that era's gone. That's a different era now. That was 30 years ago. Those people now live in Miami or something. You know, it's just amazing. But the really amazing thing is that every time I see my uncle, we always talk about the fact. We always bring up Martin the Fag.
Just breaking the walls down, screaming.
It was just something that, and then, you know, the funeral, all that shit, what happened afterward, that was nothing compared to those 5 days, you know. Lee, what's the story? Everything all right? You waking up over there? You doing jumping jacks?
I'm up, dude. What's up?
Nothing. What's going on with that gloomy bear sitting there
lonely? You know what the worst? I felt bad. But when you were telling the story about the smell by the casket, just because I know you, I was sure you had farted or something, and you brought your uncle over.
No. Let me tell you something.
Now, who put the Santeria stuff in there?
All right, when in Santeria,
who put that shit in there?
In Santeria, when a person passes, it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing because the police come over, the medics come over, they identify the body, whatever. If it's not a gunshot head, or it's not a murder or something like that, like a natural death, okay. Somebody shows up and goes, you can't take this body.
Someone in Santeria.
A Santeria person shows up and says, according to our religious rule, you can't take the body until we do a ceremony. So I remember a Santeria guy in my neighborhood dying that I was tight with. And this is what happened. I remember I was like 7 and I wasn't allowed to go in. But I remember the cops are there and they have a ceremony. where you can't take the saint with you. So you got to take that saint out of you, and that you still leave a king or whatever. But part of that thing is like all the other ceremonies. They kill animals, sacrifice animals, and then you either take the... It's all when they question the saint what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Does he want to take the fucking animals with this? We don't have the time of what went wrong here. But the Santeria powders and the waters, she died on a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
The animals were cut on Wednesday.
Wow.
It's Thursday. It's Saturday. You know what those things were stinking like?
Yeah.
So what they did was they had the casket and they put the stuff under her and they had a curtain. So people were walking up going, what the fuck?
So that shit wasn't even airtight. That was just out.
No, it was out because it was just horrid. And it was 5 days that, as you got to remember my situation, like my uncle was the anchor because at that time my stepfather wasn't with my mother, so he was there, so I wasn't really talking to him.
Right.
You know, I wasn't really talking to him. So my uncle was the one. My uncle and this little Cuban lady named Zoraida.
So, I remember when they had the body on the car. You and I were sitting in the same inside the car, and the three ladies were sitting in the back. And the driver, I think it was some white guy, and I saw him kind of eating his hand. He's driving it. I guess it was the smell. The smell started smelling because he started, the car stopped and the animals.
Yeah.
And these ladies in the back, you heard her start throwing up.
It was just
fuck.
And the driver stopped the tin car. He went across the street and talked to another guy. I got out of the car. I went to the car in the back where your stepfather was. And I told him, let me ride in here because it's a problem in that car. Nobody wants to go. And he told me, I give you $50 if you go back over there. I said, I give you $100 if you go.
It was such a fucking
Wow, man.
and it went down like that. And they had, I guess they threw the shit in the floor before they put the body over it. So now you got to tip everybody.
Yeah,
You
of
got to
course.
tip the white guy in the high-low.
Right.
Go, excuse me, the high-low. And he's like, why? According to New Jersey rules. Boom. Okay. And you just throw the animals in there before the fucking, it was just, it was 5 days of fucking hell. That started on a Tuesday night.
Man. Shit.
Started on a Tuesday night and then went.
Man, that's...
But it's funny because I didn't know. My mother never spoke of the roots as much as, she spoke about them. You know, I naturally navigated the congas when I was a young age. I always played drums. And she would always go, you should go out to California and hook up with your uncle. You know, he's a musician. And after over the years, I find out about my family in Cuba. You know, I find out that Playa Veo, that Eki Alfonso, stop with the fucking thing, Ricky. That Eki Alfonso is a musician, and his sister and their cousins of mine and their parents are also musicians. Right. And you were telling me that, we have like 6 or 7 cousins that are involved in music. How the fuck did I get involved in comedy? How the fuck did I get involved in comedy, Lisa? You got the answers, cocksucker? Play some music, please.
Unstoppable Train.
This is my cousin.
Oh, you played me this. This is
is
great.
the male.
This is great. You play. I heard.
There's
this.
the Lenny
Great.
Kravitz sound and shit, but they're in Cuba with a dream. And that's all that matters, cocksuckers, right here. The Church of What's Happening Now, the Cuban edition.
This is a jam, dude. I remember you sent me this when you. Yeah.
There's no fucking must. Go, Lee. Wiggle funk with your light now. Who's calling you?
Oh, no. Close it off.
Oh shit, Lee. Let me see your wiggle pumping. What's going on with that edible, Lee? It's still sitting on the table lonely
No,
as a motherfucker. It's like
Sad.
an M&M in a
Sad,
diabetic's
man.
house.
It looks
Eat
sad,
that
buddy.
last fucking thing out of respect, will you? You gotta eat a quarter. My uncle's here, 74 years old, hanging out with youngsters, and you're sitting there like a fucking mook in heat.
This is a fucking jam, dude.
Now, Theo, they're part of the national band that travels, him and my cousin. What do? Or are they just in a band in Cuba?
Who this?
Yeah, Ekis.
X is part of the synthesis group. Now I think him and the girl are going solo from time to time.
Like Michael Jackson in '91.
And when their parents need help,
They come back.
they come back. They want to record, they come back.
That's cool.
Because this girl was in Mexico. Emmy was in Mexico. She was a big hit.
Play Emmy's song. Emmy, we discussed it. That I see Emmy in the States in 2 years. I see Emmy replacing the void that Sade left.
Yeah.
Nobody ever replaced Sade. Nobody ever had that style. Emmy's got it. If you see Emmy's videos and her music on YouTube, play it, Lee. Lee Francois. Time for an edible. See your coffee. Killing me. You're slipping. Where you going for dinner?
You know, the kids have taken their music into different direction than the parents. The
Right.
parents,
The parents are doing the Afro.
Yeah, the Afro-Cuban, but the kids just have all the stuff. Just good.
Tus anhelos no alcanzarán deshielo.
Tremendous. On a Tuesday night, you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass. This chick's from fucking Cuba. Lee, what are you lowering it for? Hit that motherfucker, dog.
Very talented, man.
So next time you think you ain't got the world by the balls, play this chick's video. She probably got a flute and a fucking Coke bottle. And she's doing this shit.
Imagen inmortal que se cuelga solo en el umbral de promesas que giran sobre sí, moldeando sus tristezas.
There's the money shot right here. She just takes it to the hoop here. You're like, Joey, is that French? What are you asking me for? Just
So for people listening, it's EME Alfonso with an F, and it's X Alfonso with an F, just the letter X.
It looks like it's a really good song. I wish I could chime in and listen to this.
I will throw you off for bridge.
how the fuck did you fuck that up? I even called you and said, what is it that we need? Did I not? Did we not get the microphone? You didn't say to me, leave the extra yardstick for the speakers. You didn't say nothing about this. So you have forgotten all about the goddamn speakers.
One
The
headphone.
fucking earphones. That's right. Like we said, what do you expect? Somebody who talks that's a mute to come over and do the podcast sitting there fucking with some guy next to him clapping and making noises? Is that what you think?
That's what I was hoping for.
What's going on with the other edible set? You still haven't touched it. You got to get to the same vibe. You know how many things I dropped today? I dropped Goomy Bears, Fluffy Bears. I came here. I was excited to see my favorite fucking flying Jew. This is how you treat me. This is the respect I get. Let me give a shout out to my sponsors, Onnit.com, for your maximum fucking health. Today I took a strong bone. I went to jiu-jitsu. I'll tell you what, when I first started going to jiu-jitsu, I could barely do a hip escape. I'm doing hip escapes. I'm doing hip escapes with the rollout. Today we did judo flips. I fell. I broke falls. And then I got to sit there and spar for 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm learning how to breathe. I'm getting better. But let me tell you something. I did those 3 fucking sessions today with the class and a half, hour and a half, and then the 3. And I'll tell you what, I could still have gone. I was just scaring myself.
Yeah, man.
Like now I got too much fucking oxygen. You think it's because I'm better than you? No. Shroom Tech has helped me. It's like my own little personal breathing. They're those fucking probiotic mushrooms. I don't know. Get fucking Joe Rogan on the email or go on the Onnit webpage. He'll break it down for you. All I'm telling you is I'm a fat fuck that takes them and they work. Go to joeydiaz.net. Go to the Onnit box and press in.
Church.
Hit it! And fucking get 10% off and everything. Not the ropes and the fucking scuba suits and the t-shirts. But any minerals they have, that new digestive enzyme they have for the proteins and the fats and the carbs, the alpha brain, any of those minerals, give it a shot. Columbus did. You're sitting there on the fucking couch, you're eating peanut butter, you're looking to start somewhere, you know, it all starts with fucking you, cocksucker. So go to Onnit.com. So now you're taking care of your health. You want to look good. You want to smell good. You want your balls to look good. You go to Dollar Shave Club. They got 3 different packages for you. The $1, the $6, or the $9 package. If you go for the $9 package, you get 4 blades sent to your fucking house every month with the aloe strip. Your face is nice and sharp. You don't even need it. You go 2 weeks. You go the one razor to your girlfriend. That's what she shaves a little fucking stinky monkey with, and her ass. So they got 1 wipe Charlies that smell like peppermint, for your muffler. They got the cocoa butter for your shave. That's not including the $6.99 or $9.99 or the $7.99 or whatever the fuck I'm telling you. What I'm telling
1,
you,
6, and 9.
1, 6, and 9. If you want the Mr. Peanut fucking asshole wipes, that's different. And if you want the fucking white Charlies, and if you want the other stuff, that's completely different. I take care of you people. I introduce you to these things. So you go there, you get what's coming to you. Hulu Plus, same thing. If you go on the webpage by yourself to Hulu Plus, you get $7.99 a month. That's it. That's a great deal. Guess what I'm giving you? I'm giving you 2 weeks for free. That means you show up with your dick out in a bottle of champagne with a straw, and you say, take me on yours. You sit there and you binge on shows. Whatever fucking show you want to watch, Community, this, that, the Dirty Whore on CBS, they're all on there. Documentaries.
That show's coming soon.
What? Yeah,
the Dirty Whore.
The Dirty Wife. You know, the one with the wife that she's a cheater. All that shit's on fucking Hulu Plus. All right, go to HuluPlus.com. Better yet, go to JoeyDiaz.net for the tour dates. Go to the Hulu Plus blocks and press.
Joey,
Joey. The same thing. What's the Dollar Shave Club code?
Church.
Boom, Church. Get $1, $6, or $9. That's how we fucking do it here, right, Jerry LaRocca? Let me give some shout outs to some fucking savages. It's a Tuesday night special edition, so we change it up. We got 4 fucking guests tonight: Oscar Nunez, Michael Angeli, and the Angeli brothers, Ugly Kid Joel, and Nelia Samuels. My heart goes out to you. He found out his sister was fucking a black dude. The family's in tangles. They threw the yarmulkes out. It's all over. You know what I'm saying? I guess Jews don't like black people fucking the sisters. What are you going to do? Tío, dime algo con soturbio. The Cuban word of the day is mama me la pinga. All right, tremendous, Tío. What's happening, Tío?
I don't know. You guys talk about this, some chick sucking that black guy dick. There was a guy.
I love it.
There was a guy. He was in charge of this big business, or the electrical part business. And one day he comes to the bar. He's drinking. I ask him, what's the matter? He says, something horrible happened to me.
Oh, no.
I went down to my boat. And I saw my wife sucking this black guy's dick. So, okay, the guy, then 2 vice officers walk into the place. And they're looking at the guy drinking. I thought, oh, he has a problem. So, what's the problem? He said, well, I said, he found his wife sucking that guy's dick. And I asked him, what would you do if this happened to you? He said, I killed myself.
look at my uncle cracking funnies.
But I said, no,
Jerry,
but
a lot of them cracking funnies.
But I said to the guy, what if the guy would have been white?
That's true too.
They just took off.
I'd be just as upset. Either way, wouldn't matter. Across the board.
Whether racism starts in my family. Open up the door a little bit. What am I going to steam me to death with this Jewish song about? You know, open up the door, get some air in here a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. We ain't gonna hear nothing. It's all right. Nobody's here. It's fucking 10 o'clock.
Yeah, who's gonna be here?
Who's gonna fucking be here?
There's
What is that chick notarizing it right now? There's
Who the
nothing.
fuck is it? One of the, not all the way, Lee. Just
Jesus
a little,
Christ.
Jesus Christ, Lee. You forget the speakers. You don't get an air conditioner. You got to fucking check for this on an IPO. We got the fucking company commander to send you an IPO and everything. You're slipping. You got the room in here like a steam pad. Next thing you know, you're gonna show up with a fucking towel with a yarmulke on it, with a star. We're gonna be sweating here, smelling like fucking hummus. You can't wait to get out of here, can you? Some fucking, like when I was doing Blow, I couldn't wait to get out of a comedy show. Like,
Really?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? The only reason I was there was to get the $50 they were gonna give me so I could go buy a package.
You know me though, man. I can't do any of that
You
stuff.
think I want to fucking follow half these people and sit at the club? Hey, yeah, yo. Give up your saying, you know, and you're sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Lee right now, I saw him before and I could see him daydreaming about hummus in the Mediterranean.
No, you gave me an edible.
Theo don't eat
and
fucking
and
hummus
and
either,
you're talking to me about air conditioning when I've told you about it 18,000 times, and you tell me my business. What are the questions? Mind your business, cocksucker.
Wait. What's the 18? What's the air conditioning?
He says the air conditioner don't work for some reason. I like
For some reason, it's 8,000 degrees in here.
How are you guys paying for this shit? Fuck
No,
them. They should
we're
put
doing
it
it. We're
on.
getting this for free through the fucking
Well,
NRA.
they should put this.
Are you fucking crazy?
Write
Yeah,
a
we pay
letter.
for this. There's air. If not, we'd be dying in here. But this is controlled by this one person with a lock on it. You understand? You know how these buildings are. It stays at 72. That's what cool is for them. And there's nothing you could do, and you can't argue with them. When you go to a hotel in Vegas, you go to your room, you put it down to 60.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking 78.
It never goes to 60.
Go down to 60. They want the whole building. They want you to think it's 60. Meanwhile, you're sweating like a fucking pig in your fucking room.
And like, might as well go downstairs and gamble. Fuck it.
You know, it's funny how we on the podcast we talk about self-improvement a lot. We talk about music, we talk about family, we talk about drugs, addiction, weight. You know, how to get yourself back together. And one of the coldest realities, Theo, I have had in life was the one you read me in 1984. It was it was a shock. And this is the other part of this, that, you know, my mother and my uncle were fucking poor. You guys were fucking poor. You lived 9 kids. You had to wait till the father went to sleep and you threw spitballs at him and fucking crazy shit. And they knew what poor was. And my uncle came over here and decided to go to California and did this life. That was the right life. And meanwhile, my mother decided to do a life that was a wrong life. And there was a lot of money made and spent, as he'll tell you. And it was a shame what happened. You know, one day I found him on the kitchen floor. And then you have to move on. And then my uncle offered me to come out here. My friends in Miami said you could stay with us in Miami. And I turned them down, and I wanted to do it my way. And for the first 2 years, I worked. You know, I worked part-time, and I tried to, you know, whatever. I made ends meet however I could. I was in high school, so I was living with a cop, and I was selling drugs, you know, pot and little pills. You know, we would go to a college and buy acid. And we had partners, and it was great, Theo. I paid the bills, you know, and I learned to be a man. But there was something about me, Theo. Like, something was missing. Like, something wasn't, algo no estaba bien. Something wasn't right in my life, you know. And I was raised a little spoiled, you know. I was raised very spoiled, you know. There's times I wish now that I go, you know, if my mother didn't die, what would I be like today? I wouldn't be doing this. I would never be a comedian. I would have been one of those 50-year-olds that lives with his mother, and, you know, he knows. I'm not lying to you. It doesn't, you know, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you people and tell you that things happen in your life and you either have to adjust or you'll sink. And that's what happened in this story, but there was levels of it. You know, I'm not going to tell you at 25 I knew what the fuck was going on. Nobody, you know, the other day I was doing something. I was thinking about our 20s. I was thinking about when you were 20, Theo, and my 20s. You know what 20 is? 20s are the waste of your life. No matter how old you get, you got to think of what you did in the 20s, and every decision was fucking wrong. Whether what subject you picked and graduated from, what college,
what
the girl you dated,
yep.
Everything you do in your 20s is fucking completely wrong.
Absolutely.
Look at Lee looking at me going, Joey, you're wrong. Wait till you're 60. You're going to go, boy, was I wrong about. But not you. You're a sharp kid. I'm talking about people who are like, yeah, I'm going to go to the Air Force Institute to fly jets. And you're looking at them going, dog, the other night, you got gypped at the 7-Eleven by some Hindu with change. How the fuck you going to go measure wind speed and shit? You know, and something wasn't right, bro. And there's a lot of people at 27 that something wasn't right. I stumbled upon my uncle at 21. I came out here with a story out to California. And my uncle told me something that I was pissed at him for 10 years. He goes, the world don't owe you shit. You got to get a fucking job. You know, he goes, if you stay here, I'll take care of your food. I'll take care of your lights, but everything else comes. I think I asked him for pot. Like, can I get $20 for a bag of pot? My uncle was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll take care of your bills. I'll eat I'll give you food, but everything else comes out of your pocket. You want a cocktail? That comes out of your pocket. You want to eat Chinese? That comes out of your pocket. I'm going to give you a sandwich. That's up to you. And he said that to me, and I had never heard those words from anybody. Yeah. In life, people are scared to tell you.
I know your mother. I know your mother gave you everything. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's my 20s were the opposite. That's when I started comedy. I started when I was 18 because I didn't want to go to college. I remember thinking I hated high school, and I went to community college for 6 weeks. I'm like, this is the fucking same as high school. There's no difference. There's nothing different between this and high school. I don't want to do this shit. I knew what I wanted to do. I was already doing open mics. And I told my mom, I said, look, I don't want to go to college anymore. And she just looked at me. And my life was just my mother and I and her boyfriend, who was my father, you know, because I never met my biological dad, you know. And I told her, and her heart sank. And she looked at me and she goes, this is going to be a really hard thing because people who try to get into that, you're not going to see anything until you've been doing it for a long, long time. And so, but she looked at me and goes, if that's what you want to do with your life, I don't want to raise a miserable kid. Be happy. Go chase it. It's going to be hard. You're going to be poor. I'm like, okay.
It was just really weird what you, I never knew. I never knew that was the other side. I was living in this fucking fairy tale life.
Yeah.
Your life when you're a kid is this fairy tale life. Lee told me this thing the other day. He goes, kids today, they want to go to Vegas and stand on line. And they all want to be with Kim Kardashian and they want to do this shit. When I was a kid, I didn't want none of that deal. You know what I wanted when I was 21? I wanted to have a Mercedes-Benz. I wanted to have jewelry, and I wanted to have a blonde, and I wanted to have a penthouse, and I wanted to sell coke and do coke and go out 4 nights a week and get my dick sucked and fly to the coast. And if I wanted to go to a Stones game, a Stones concert in
Yankee
Arizona,
game, whatever you wanted.
I could do whatever I wanted. But then there was the most important thing, Theo. I didn't want to work.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything. It was this fucking thing. It was this lifestyle I had been introduced to. So that's why when I see kids, and sometimes I see things, it happens to a child later on in life, they have this, that, and they have to adjust. They can never adjust to it. And for me, it was dropped on me right fucking there, but I didn't get it. Like I thought my doomsday when I was 16 and my mother died. No, it was the day I came out here, and I tried to fuck with my uncle. My uncle's like, no, you have nothing coming to you in this world. And I remember going to prison and thinking about my uncle, going, fuck, he was right.
Yeah.
Like those words were fucking right. You have nothing coming to you. And this podcast, and we talk about it constantly, this could be easy for you, or this could be hard for you. Whatever the fuck you want to get into, whatever you want to do. But you got to start with one thing. You ain't got dick coming to you. Those people at the bar that you think you're hanging out with the Kardashians in some fucking bar in fucking Oklahoma, and you think you're at a VIP section, those motherfuckers come and go in your life. And I didn't think so. I thought that was it. You're going to hang out with these people till you're 60 and everybody goes to the bar. Give them a drink. Give them all a drink. Yeah, let me get it on the tab. Let me get some lobster. And you're like, that's all great, but how are you going to fucking pay for this shit?
Yeah.
So, Theo, I owe you my life because ever since that day, that changed my life completely. That was the fucking beginning. That whole year, that was the fucking cream on the crop that you read me the riot act. And
you know what's sad though is there are guys your age that believe that they're owed everything, and it's kind of scary when
I see it every fucking day. I see it every day.
These people that walk around.
I see it every day. I see it especially in comedy. You see it with kids in comedy.
Can I tell you a story real quick? So I'm in a club. I'm out of town last week. I'll talk more about it on my podcast here too. But this piece of shit, a comic from here, happened to be in this town, right? He was trying to get in at the club. I met this guy one time, seen him do comedy 2 minutes tops, right? And brutal. And he just goes, we sit down at the bar, and he just, because I'm a familiar face, he acts like we've been best friends our whole life. And he goes, you're gonna tell them about me, right? You're gonna tell them how good I am. You're gonna let these people know this. And I was like, and I just pretend I didn't hear him. I was like, no, yeah, it's a real good club, man. It's fun. Have fun. And then the door guy comes over and talks to me, and he says hi, and right as he's telling me hi, the waiter, because the bar is at the back of the room, right? The bartender brings my food to me, and I'm talking to the door guy, and as I'm turning around to get my food, this fucking asshole has taken a handful of my French fries and starts eating them. I don't know this guy. My girlfriend doesn't have the balls to do that. Like, I'm not gonna grab food off my girlfriend. And I look, I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, oh man, I'm sorry, I was just really hungry. And I'm like, that's funny, because so am I. That's why I ordered this shit like an adult. I found something in the menu that I wanted to eat, and I fucking ordered it, because I'm hungry too. The fucking balls on, but again, he expects me to, make sure you tell them I'm going to eat food off your fucking plate. Right. It was crazy. And then he's just following me around the whole night, and finally he said, look, dude, I've seen you do 2 minutes. You want me to go tell him that I saw you do 2 minutes, and I didn't even know if you were funny or not? Just shut up. And it's just, but that's, these people, they expect everything to be handed. And this guy was an adult. Like, he was a grown man, probably in his mid-40s to early, you know what I mean? And how can you go through life? But they do it. It's like they think that they're the guest of this planet. Like, somehow the planet Earth has invited them to be here, and the planet Earth has to cater to their every fucking need. The reason why he has that attitude at that age, and he's going to comedy clubs and doing that, is because he's done that all along. Yeah.
See, it's a pattern. So once you live that system in your head that I'm just going to show up, it's a funny thing. I am a great guy. I am a great guy, Theo, with comics especially, because I was at the other side of the spectrum.
No question.
You know, you told me once a story about a friend of ours that told you he only talked to headliners also.
Oh, boy,
You know,
yeah.
there's a bunch of comics that have this fucking thing, you know, and I helped comics out, but then it started with me and Brea. And Brea was where I learned the comics that I don't even talk to Theo. Theo, they don't call you. They don't call you and say, how you doing?
No.
And they show up. Hey, man, this is great.
Isn't that the best?
You want me to go up on stage? And I'm like, no.
The
I don't
minute
know
you
who
get a
invited you
headline
here.
night.
I don't know who invited you here.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck invited you here.
I remember.
Why would you? And then you know that they have rooms. This is when you really get pissed off. They book a room. They never call you.
Yeah.
When they have gigs, I know they book gigs. They never call you, but then they show up. And I had to take comics aside and go, come here. Tonight I'll put you up. Don't ever come down here uninvited again. And I felt bad for a while, but I noticed that I lost that element because the word got out. The word got out. It's when I go on the road. It's when I go on the road. People hit me up for guest sets. Don't hit me on the road for guest sets. I don't know you. Number one, I don't know you. Number two, I have a show. I got 2 guys. That's it. I don't need some guy coming in for one night trying to gun in and done. I don't need that. If I know you, if you come to Florida and you're there one day, get up there.
I just happen to be hanging out or something.
Get up
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
But there's people that come in looking around like I never even knew they did comedy here. It's that. It's this attitude that just fucking kills me. And I want to thank you, Theo, for straightening my shit out. Because after that, I still fucked up, but I always had that in the back of my head. And that's what cutted me out today. That really cut me up today.
Do you remember, I don't know if it was Irvine or Brea, but one of the times we went there was just this older comic in the back just sitting around talking, and like he didn't even try to go up. Like he just, like, this older guy, he looked like a dad in like khakis, and he just sat in the back and like took notes. And I, like, the entire time we were just glaring at him. And there was no reason for him. He didn't even try to go up. It was
I remember one time you had me in Brea, right? And this is about when I first came back, so maybe 4 years ago. And I never forget, like, at least 4 dudes who were not invited showed up begging for a spot, and you just kind of very bluntly laid it out. And it is fascinating how they just, people fucking expect it. They just somehow think that by you know, you're not our guest here. You know, it's amazing, but they do.
It's amazing how you have to draw a line in your life with people sometimes, Theo, which you did, and you have to draw a line for yourself.
So do these people become your enemy?
No, they just
After
become
you
nothing.
They become no and yes.
You tell them, hey.
They say that you're a dick now. Oh, he's a dick now.
They try. You know what I think? I think they try to become your enemy,
Yeah,
so
they
it gives
try.
them so they still feel like they're important in some way. When at the end of really they're nowhere on Joey's spectrum. They're nowhere on my, like, I'm never gonna think about that. You know. But if you know, like, he might, I'll get, every time I get a plate of fries, I'm gonna guard him. You know, like, I'm gonna cover. But
there's so many things in life that goes back to respect. El respeto que uno tiene para uno propio, the respect you have for yourself, and the respect you have for other people, and the respect you have for yourself as a comic and comedy. You know, in comedy, the big thing, Theo, is to go, and if they give you 10 minutes, you do 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta do that?
why are you doing this?
Why you gotta do that? Dog?
This guy did. Okay, this guy does this.
That's the shit. There's little fucking edges that have to end. You know what? If you're not at a fucking club performing, don't
Go
come
home.
support. Don't come support. I don't want you to come out and support. If you're a comedian, don't come. If you're getting on stage, come on down.
Yeah.
And I understand you if you come to the second show after you did a show. You did the first show somewhere.
Joey's be here.
You did Hyenas,
right,
and whatever, and then you come to Addison for
come
the
to
11
Addison
o'clock
Saturday.
show on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
You worked your 2 shows, okay, but to show up at 8 o'clock and sit in the green room and eat the food and order
That's
from the
creepy.
waitress,
That's creepy,
it drives
dude.
me fucking. I don't want nobody in the fucking green room. No. I don't want nobody in the fucking green room. But it's back to the respect issue. You get into this, what you put interest in. You were a musician, Theo. You had the same I remember when I came out that time. You worked at a Mexican restaurant, and you were the house band
On 8th, yeah.
on 8th Street.
and
And they gave me salsa. Jerry the Rocha. I come from New York City. And they said, taste the salsa. And I tasted the salsa, and the heat went through my head 18 times. You know how wasabi goes through your fucking skull 18 times? This went through my fucking head 18 times. And it just, I'll never forget the crying, and Theo had to put ice cubes in my mouth. But I always remembered that he had 3 fucking jobs. Like, we didn't stop. If you ask me what I remember from 1973 when I came out here, I remember
When the Disneyland, yeah.
we went to Disneyland, you had the water thing. That's the first time I had ever seen a fucking water machine. Those people that put the cup under the water and put it under it.
Yeah.
That to me was fucking
Mind
huge.
blowing.
I went home and told my mom we gotta get a fucking water machine. SeaWorld, the Dodger game, the
that's
place where you
awesome.
worked at night, the beach. It was just and I fucked up, and he sent me home pissed off. He was mad at me, my uncle, but then I didn't see him
You
for
get
a while.
complaining. Where's my money? Where's my money? You took my money.
That was a Cuban Jew, dog.
That's
If I
hilarious.
gave you $10, this is how fucked up I was. If I gave you $10 and I saw a SeaWorld thing, I go, Theo, give me 50 cents. I'd still say, where's my $10?
Right,
I go, no, it's
right.
$9.50. No, fuck that. You had
He was
2 quarters in your
He
pocket.
was
That was my fucking money, you know. We last Monday we played Patato and Totico here on the podcast. Remember the Cuban music we played? I don't know if you want to put it on.
Get a little jam going.
And my uncle tells a story. One time I went to a Santeria party
Yeah.
on 148th Street in Broadway, right?
Wow.
And there was all these bananas and shit.
The
Tell 'em,
first
Theo.
thing we walked
Fucking
into
huge,
the door,
right? Like pull the bananas to the
and
side.
they had this banana branch right in front of the
Wow.
door. Right. I mean, you say, well, how do you get in here? You have to push big, huge.
Wow.
You know, and I say, well, is this a gorilla party?
Oh, there was tons of fucking bananas, bro, and every door jam. So every door jam
big,
had one of those
big
things.
bananas.
When you
1,000
see-
bananas. in
Yeah,
there.
You
Yeah.
ever seen when the longshoremen hauls bananas? They put the hooks in and they pick up the bananas, and it's just a fucking tree of bananas, dog. It's amazing. They would have those in every door jam.
Wow.
So you had to move it like a boxing,
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
like a heavy bag. And there was a Santeria thing, the conga players.
So there comes this Patato, walks out of the house, and this Coco, he's a kid, you know, and he tells Patato, you know, we're the same size now. We can go out.
But he was a small guy. He was a small guy. You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
we're the same size now. So
I wanted to beat him up because he wouldn't let me play in his band. So I wanted to be a part of the conga players. That was good enough. And he goes, no, you got to get better. You got to go. And I go, where do you want me to fucking go play? I don't know. Now you got to go to a park and find Puerto Ricans and shit. And I'd fucking look at him and go, you motherfucker, you just cockblocking me. Even at 10, I had like that fury in my eye.
we're the same size now.
I told my
That's
uncle, I'm gonna
hilarious.
fuck this motherfucker. I just need a backup.
I just look at,
As long as my uncle was there, we just had
That's
fucking
badass.
backup.
is this kid for real?
And you know, Theo, I went to see him like 7 years ago. He played at the House of Blues. I was at the Comedy Store, and I was still
walked across?
and I was still doing coke. I was still doing cocaine, and he was old. He was fucking old, Patato, right? And I went to the House of Blues, and they say the show started at 11. It was like 10:30, and I go, "Is Patato around?" They go, "Yeah, he's in the green room." And I walked in, and I said to him, "Do you remember me?" And he looked at me, he goes, "Holy shit." And he got up, and he hugged me, and he started crying. And he goes, "You used to fucking torment me when you were a kid." And he said something. He hugged me, he goes, "You used to torment me when you were a kid." And within 10 minutes, he was like, "Where's the cocaine at?" And he goes, "Get me something. You got to get me something."
Wow.
He used to hang out at your mother's bar a lot. Once I was at the bar, and your mother told me something to hold. Hey, would you hold this for me? And he saw it. I was sitting there, see this guy. Hey, will you give me some? Give you what?
Wow.
Give me some, please.
Oh,
Please.
Give me whatever she gave you in that
that's
fucking
hilarious.
bag. There was a lot of musicians that used to play that beginning of Oye let me get a cork drop there for you.
Yeah, you got
You
it.
want Oye Como Va or Potato y Totico? Which one?
Patato and Totico.
Deal? You want
No.
one? No?
Oh shit. Get the Puerto Ricans and the knives out. It's over. We're sinking that motherfucker. Little late night Cuban restaurant fucking food for you. Lee, what's up, cocksucker? Get up and wiggle for me. You haven't wiggled all week. What's up with the edible? There's one little piece there waiting on you.
Yeah.
What's up, Lee?
What's up, buddy?
The church of what's happening now, baby. New Jersey this week, Thursday through Saturday, Stress Factory.
Oh, baby.
Next week, Chicago, Zanies, 3 locations, Rosemead and downtown.
That's 2 locations.
Whatever the fuck it is, all right?
No, there's one in Nashville. 3 locations. There's one in Nashville.
No. He was right. I meant 2 locations and 2 nights. There's Nashville. There's a bunch of them.
Are you excited for New Jersey?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna see some friends.
You leave tomorrow?
Yeah. It's fucking amazing how many people are coming.
That's gonna be
You
great.
told me
And
it's
I
going to
have
be.
no material.
I remember what you said.
You said
gotta-
it every show. You said on the recordings to the CD. You'd be driving down. You look at me.
That's how we feel, though, man. That's how,
You
dude.
got to remember, I have no material. These people see me in September in Jersey. I probably have 3 jokes instead.
I'll be all right.
You have no idea. I'm gonna bring back. I can't bring back Losi Snowbush on certain nights because
She'll
know
be
that-
there. She'll be there.
No, I don't know. I heard a rumor she was coming Thursday night show, and the people were like, "Are you crazy? She lives in Florida."
That's hysterical.
So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I got Ray Canella coming Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
Ray Canella and his brother and the Bobby Bender and the other cops. They're all coming Thursday and Friday. I got a different group, and then Saturday's the big chunk. It's Chucky McBreen and 35 people.
Wow.
They're coming to one
Damn.
show, and then 20 people coming to another show. So just in kids from high school deal, I got 150 fucking people. I had to stop my phone today.
If you guys thought Shut the Window was big, you guys might get arrested this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna-
35 people.
35 for the late
Is Danny
show.
B coming down there?
Danny B will be there Friday night. He's taping for HBO. He's taping for somebody.
Okay.
He's taping for somebody, a gambling show. So he's coming to watch the shows. They got permission to shoot. It's going to be fucking crazy.
Man.
Oh shit. HBO special.
So yeah, no, it's no HBO special. Get it together, cocksucker. Don't be uttering those words and I'll get sued. I have to fuck you up. So what's up with you, Deal? What's going on for the future? You still work every fucking weekend. How old are you, Deal? 75. You still roll around the floor every week. He still serves cocktails. He goes down there on Mondays and cleans up the fucking bottles. Look at him. This is why he's still a young fucking man.
5 miles a day, man.
5 miles a day, Monday through fucking Friday. He has sleep apnea. You still got it there? Is it bad? It's still
No,
good.
it's
good.
It's okay. It's control.
But that's not bad, guys. This is what it's all about. It's taking care of yourself and
Dude, I'll be fucking lucky if I look half as good as you if I make
Yeah,
it 75. I'll be lucky.
Change your diet. And
Yeah.
Stop eating all them French fries and all that stuff. And you'll be okay.
My girlfriend got me off red meat. That's a big one. The more red meat, it's amazing how much better I've been. It's amazing.
with me it's the soda.
Soda's a killer,
I
dude.
even stopped drinking the diet soda.
Diet's even worse,
I
Joey.
stopped
Diet's
eating-
worse.
I stopped eating the white bread. You know.
Oh, that's
I,
You
horrific.
had to kill that. You had to kill
Yeah, I
that.
killed all that shit.
Diet
Listen,
sodas
I
are
got-
worse than
I got
regular
20
soda.
years here. I look at my uncle. He's 75. I'm 51. That means, you know, if everything goes as planned, I have that longevity. Our grandmother lived to how old was she?
93.
93.
Wow.
I could see Mercy at 20. That would be a beautiful fucking
It'll
thing to
happen.
watch her grow up
It'll
to be
happen.
a woman. So this is why I go to the kettlebells. Like tomorrow morning I gotta leave at 8:30. I'm thinking of I know I'm gonna wake up at 4.
Yeah.
And at one point I'm gonna go outside and throw kettlebells for fucking 30 minutes. I know it before I get on that plane because I'm sick about it. I'll take tomorrow off and then Wednesday and then Friday and Saturday I'll work out at the hotel.
What time's your flight tomorrow?
8.
8 a.m.? That's not bad. That's not
No,
bad.
because I got everything. I already got upgraded.
Oh,
That's how we do
shit,
it,
man.
Big
That's great.
pimpin', upgraded there and back already.
Fuck that.
Bang, zoom.
First on, man.
So I got to get to the airport early because then you get that spot by the elevator.
Yeah.
You know, I fucking mac on that shit early. If you go at 2 in the afternoon, it's not there. Those aren't there. So you got to drive around in circles. So now when you get off the plane on Sunday, you got to walk 3 miles. Fuck you. I want to park right by the fucking elevator. I get there and there's 6 spots right there. I could pick my own. I could park in 3 of them.
You doing Burbank or LAX?
Got to do LAX to go cross country. You know, unless I want to go to JFK. I got no business up in JFK.
Right.
So I got no business unless I want to take True Blue and end up in fucking whatever the fuck. Was it True Blue?
JetBlue.
JetBlue, whatever the fuck it is. And I end up in goddamn JFK on a Thursday afternoon. At
JFK's
5.
bad.
Where I'm going. You know,
Okay.
I'm going 2 worlds apart.
Yeah,
That's
man.
like me landing in Ontario at 5 o'clock.
To
And
try to
come-
make it
yeah,
over
to
here
try
by
to make
7.
it by 7. That's not
Yeah,
going to happen.
yeah.
So why are
Oh,
we
man.
doing that? To save $100 and aggravate somebody?
No way.
That's all you're doing is aggravating one of your friends. You know, you call them. Those. That's when motherfuckers call you and go, "You gonna pick me up?" And the night before they go, "Oh, Kelly," and you go like, "What?" Not Newark? No, no, you never fucking told me. I wouldn't
You didn't
agree.
specify.
I ain't picking you up in fucking Kennedy.
Yeah.
It's like people calling you and going, oh, yeah. And you're like, yeah, I'll pick you up. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, Ontario.
Wait a minute.
It looks like you be on that motherfucking 210. I hope you put a skateboard in that backpack, bitch. Fuck you, Theo. No, these people are crazy. And when you usually take those planes, it's to save $8. You're saving $8, guys. Now you got to get in your car. To do what? To fly in the middle of the night? We did enough of that as comedians. You know how many fucking buses I took as a comic? You know,
Dude,
connecting.
I lived on Greyhound.
Come on,
when I first started.
Greyhound. No,
Fuck, man.
I paid my fucking dues on a bus.
Fucking
bro.
get pink eye doing a show.
Shit.
That was
Well, the longest I took was from New York City, Port Authority to Dallas.
on a Greyhound.
I was doing.
That's 4 days. Got to be right. That's a three-day trip.
Sunday at 8.
Oh, it's express at least.
Express.
Okay,
And you get there
okay.
Monday at like 4.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got to, that's the first time ever I saw the Dallas Stadium,
Cowboys.
the Cowboy, and I almost shit I was crying on the bus, but I had to keep it together.
Yeah, man.
And I got to the train station. At the bus station was John Westling, a comic from Houston.
Yeah.
This is 1996. I was in New York, and I was going to take a flight on a Tuesday, and everything fell through. Like I went to you know, like when you go to New York and you want to do spots. I called stand up, and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. I called another club, and like, we have 15 people. And I called one of my buddies. I couldn't get a hold of him. I called one of my other buddies. He had to work till 10. I said, wait a second. So all this shit I'm doing, I'm going to stay here and spend $3,000 with a hotel and go back into Jersey, back over here to get weed.
No way.
You know what? I went to Port Authority. I go, what's your next train bus to Dallas? I go, we have an express. Cut through Notre Dame. It cut through Indianapolis.
It went south, went up, and
It went
over
right
and
down.
Yeah.
It was fucking tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. A day and a half or something. So I paid my dues, guys. This is why I know about flying, and this is why I'm picky about it. And if you ever want to fly and you want the best fucking route, Uncle, you're going to fly off that fucking chair any minute. You're going back and forth there. I love it. Lee Sayat, finish that gumi. We ain't stopping this podcast till you eat that gumi,
We'll
those.
go until tomorrow.
So
then.
we're going till tomorrow. We're going straight into the fucking
Why not?
Nerds Are Us. It's all over for you guys.
I'll be ready.
This fucking guy. You better eat that thing with your little striped shirt. I swear to God, I'll shoot a spitball at you right in the fucking solar plexus. When was the last time somebody shot a spit?
How many?
Theo, what else? You miss Cuba?
You know, it's the country you're born, so Cuba's different than here, you know. I remember when I was 15, I was already a man. I was never a teenager. Like here, you see, oh, the kids, they did this, they did that, oh, they're just teenagers. But you in Cuba,
I was never a teenager. I don't remember being a
When I was
fucking
16,
teenager.
I was a man at 15. and
There was no
16,
there was no
17.
time to make
No,
teenage
teenage-
mistakes,
nah.
right? You couldn't make mistakes like
Nah.
kids make.
Nah.
You couldn't do it.
This is just
So if
it's
you,
an excuse to say, oh, they did it because
Right.
because they're stupid, you know.
Yeah.
Teenager, what does it mean? Stupid.
and that, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
it's just an easy
I
excuse.
was never a kid. I was always a man.
I-
15, you gotta be a man.
I had the same problem to you. I always think about Michael Jackson. That was his main story about why he turned out like it was. You know what? I don't remember being a little kid. Denora didn't let me be a little kid, Lazaro. She didn't allow it.
Well-
She didn't allow it. You know, me and Lee have had. I hear that fucking Lee. That's the third headphone.
Someone's phone's going off.
All right, shut those fucking things off. I want to kill you motherfuckers. No.
But you know what? You just hang out with men. You, as a kid, no kids.
Yeah, I
no
didn't have kids around. There was no
kids
kids
around.
around.
Nobody.
It was.
Nothing but old
whose
people.
phone is still going off here?
It's not
I
mine.
don't know.
Is that yours, Lee? You have your phone going off?
No.
No, mine's good.
No, I don't have a telephone.
It's weird how sometimes I feel bad about myself sometimes. Like when
Yeah.
I feel down about myself, I go, wow, I never really had that. I played with comic books for 3 months. And when we couldn't rob the comic books, I lost interest. You know, everything was always based around money when I was a kid. Like I didn't do all that shit that kids did. I didn't make a move unless there was $6 involved in it for me. You know, when we robbed comic, whatever, it was just something that Denora didn't allow it. I wasn't treated like a kid. I didn't have a curfew. I wasn't treated like a fucking kid. Like I ran like a nomad.
Me neither.
So that's what my mom, like, I was a little, you know me, I love the comic books, I love the video games, all that shit. But my mom did the same thing. Never a curfew. Never any. And then she even told me, she said, if you're going to do drugs, I'll never forget, she sat me down when I was a freshman in high school. So you do them here with me first. Because I want to make sure that you don't react badly to them. So if you're ever doing drugs, you're doing them with me first. And I was like, all right.
Get the key. Give him the key, Lee.
She was no like, but it was like that. It was no curfew. You know what I mean?
It's really weird how I never.
My mom never really baby talked me when I was.
Had
she
that
said
childhood. I never really had one, and I'm happy my uncle came on the show today to we were gonna. What's going on, Lee? Why are your pants falling down? Were you whacking off when we got here?
I wish.
Jesus
how
Christ!
many podcasts do you do now, Lee?
Lee does
like
19.
6?
He does 6.
6?
Something like that.
Lee, you better eat that fucking gummy bear.
Dude, I had a half already. Can you leave me
Eat the
alone?
gummy bear, please.
Is it all on the
Why are you
Flying
busting
Jew
my
banner?
balls?
Is that what
Eat
it
the
is?
fucking thing. What are you
Is that our network? Is that the name
That's
of the
it.
network?
That's
Flying
it,
Jew
Lee. Look how
podcast?
fucking nice it is. Look
What?
how fucking nice it is. See how nice the fucking edible is? I can't break my uncle's balls about robbing him in '84. I can't. It'll shock him. It'll shock him. That's why I can't ask
You
him.
know what's fascinating though is the Cuba stories. It's like the Who saying, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Sounds like it ain't a damn thing changed. No matter who you overthrow, no matter who, it sounds like it was the same shit over and over and over again. No matter who got overthrown, no matter who got, it sounds like it was the same old shit that they had to live with.
It's just, it's good to have my uncle on tonight, just to show you people I do have fucking family.
Yeah, man.
I don't want you people to think I was a fucking Martronoid and shit. It's good that he came up tonight. He's
great.
older and I spoke to him in the afternoon. He's like, I don't know what information I can remember. He's as sharp as a fucking tack, people.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the fucking guy. So
Nice.
I'm happy you motherfuckers tuned in tonight. We had a good little talk here, but it's just weird that we're lucky with the freedoms that we have. And there's times that I feel communist sometimes because I hear people talking about a president. Or I hear people talking about Obama. And I'm like, how can you backbite the president? How can you backbite, our own country? Mm-hmm. Because that's not allowed in Cuba. As the story he told of 1979, that this isn't allowed in Cuba.
And what's amazing is that was 79.
That was 79.
I
You
mean,
couldn't
think
talk
about
Fidel.
that. Wasn't in the 1600s.
No.
That was 1979.
When it was a lot more stricter. When he did that embargo, when he did not the embargo, not the Bay of Pigs, but when he let them out, the Marielitos and all that shit. That's when he made the speech. I don't want these dumb motherfuckers. I don't want them. You take them. He threw them all out, and he gave us the fucking prisoners of his country. But it's just good to know that I have family, and I've learned a lot from talking to him over the years. I've learned a lot about who I am by having him here. We reconnected in 2009, and then talked to him for 25 years exactly, almost to the day. And I went to an audition, and I was in Malibu, and as I drove down the beach, I remember who had taken me there. And I picked up my phone, a number that I hadn't dialed in 25 years came back to me. Just like that. And I dialed the number, and he answered.
Do you know anything? Did you learn stuff about your mom that you didn't even
know?
know?
Yeah, and I apologized. I said, Unc, I fucked up. And I'm sorry. I fucked up. I was on drugs. I didn't know what I had done. And he said, fine. And we met for lunch, and he met my wife, and now he's in love with my daughter, and we talk 3 times a week. When I talk to him, I could hear my mother's voice. Yeah. And his voice, I could hear my mother's.
That's awesome.
So it brings me back, and he's told me, 1,000 fucking times, little different stories, and now I know who I am. I know who the fuck I am. I don't want to sound like Mickey Rourke on Angel Heart. He didn't know who the fuck he was. I know who the fuck I am because even little stories like that. He came here when he was 19. He wasn't scared. All these little things, they're a part of who the fuck I am. So it's very interesting if you people have uncles and aunts. I don't have this in my life, and I just recommunicated with this from 2009, and it's made me a lot richer a human being. He's told me little things that put pieces together. I know he's held back some stuff because there's some wild fucking stuff.
Yeah.
But at least he's still here. I took him to a Dodger game last year. He's a baseball guy, and that's it, people. That's all I got to fucking tell you. We spoke about On It. Mm-hmm. We spoke about Dollar Shave Club. Yeah. We spoke about fucking Hulu Plus. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who else is fucking on fire.
Tell me
who else. What is this, Black Church now?
Give me half an edible.
I'll tell you who's on fire now. That everybody who's fucking digging it. I'm even digging a lot more. Nature's Box. Nature's Box, those fucking snacks, they're nutritionist approved. The first time you order them, order a ton of them because it's 50 fucking % off the price. 50% off.
That's not bad.
They ship to you every fucking month. The cocoa almonds, the French toast granola. Who got the French toast granola? The kid from Nashville. Death Squad Nashville fucking talked about.
I want to try the bagels.
Guys, this shit is not fucking around. Please, go to joeydiaz.net. Go to Nature's Box. Press in.
Joey.
Bam. Get 50% off your first order. Make sure you know they will ship to you on the 1st of every month. You can switch it around. Healthy snacks while you watch TV, before you whack off, before you watch Breaking Bad on Hulu. Whatever the fuck you watch on Hulu Plus, you can watch it while you're eating something from Nature's Box. That's what I'm saying to you. So go to Nature's Box and joeydiaz.net. What do you press in Nature's Box?
Joey.
Boom. And I talked to the people today, my beautiful people, the Alonzo brothers up there. Nailed it.
Life.com.
Is fucking on for the month of March. They said you guys have been. It's a fucking tremendous pen. It's a tremendous vapor pen. And it's for $50 fucking. And if you mention Joey Diaz or Joey what?
Joey Diaz, no
Joey
spaces.
Diaz, no space. You get 20% off. So that means you get the pen for $40 fucking, and they shipped it to you. Where are you gonna get that type of action? Do these people know about what's going on? Do they know? They're the inventors of Gummies and Malos. You ever eat a Gummies and Malos? Lee, tell them what happens. There's nothing. What happens to you?
You get fucked up.
Like the devil.
Is your uncle
Somebody's playing the drums
drumming in the
Sounds
bathroom?
good.
He's a fucking wackadoo. I told you, this is the Valdez is straight. You gotta remember, my bloodlines goes right back to Columbus on the boat. Go to Columbus on the boat. There's a Diaz and there's a Valdez. Fuck all that shit. We're talking about naturesbox.com. We're talking about naileditlife.com. We're talking about huluplus.com. We're talking about onit.com. And we're talking about fucking dollarshaveclub.com. That's what we're talking about tonight. And that's what the Church of What's Happening is bringing you tonight. Special edition with Jerry fucking LaRocha
Thanks
over
for
here.
having me, buddy.
Yeah.
Tremendous. I love this fucking clown. This
too,
fucking
man.
beauty.
And
over here.
joeydiaz.net. So
Joey
I gotta
D.
get a .net in there.
Listen.
Too many
I'm
.coms
gonna
hanging
fucking
around.
stab you with this clown sunglasses.
Well, the what?
You're gonna go for a walk tomorrow. Every day I want to report on where you walked, what time you walked, and what you thought about. You know how I knew you didn't walk?
I did walk.
You know how I know you didn't
I went to
walk?
get real lunch.
You know how I know you didn't walk?
How?
Because you would have called me back with an idea.
I did call you back.
Not with an
idea.
idea. No, you didn't. You would have called me back and said, you know what I was thinking about? Maybe we should do this. Because I went for a walk and it cleared out my mind. That's how I know you didn't go for a walk.
You know
I did
my-
too.
Don't fucking lie to me.
Do you know my favorite part about all this is
What?
how you both impersonate each other. I think that's my favorite part. You each have an impersonation of the other one.
I'm trying to get your circulation going. Look at you. You're red. You gotta be
Well, you gave me a fucking full edible. And
I didn't give you a full
busted my
edible. I
balls
gave
for
you a
2
half
hours.
an edible, and I ate even the tip of it, so I wouldn't give you over 50%. That's 30 milligrams of THC. Are we going to have this conversation again?
It's not 30 milligrams. It's where's the fucking bag? It's 250
No,
milligrams.
it's not 250. That's what it says on there. The front is 70 milligrams
Propaganda,
of
don't believe it.
THC. It's fucking Green Hornet. Why would I lie to my best buddy in the world? Do you think I'm in business to fucking break your balls?
Yes.
No. I'm in business because I look how cute your little hairdo looks. Look at that face. That's a fucking Jew face right there. That's beautiful. Look at you. Nelia Samuels, I don't know what happened. You know I love you. Straighten
I
out
love
the fucking
Nelius.
flying Jew. Nelius always has a fucking comment for us. Where's my uncle at?
He's drumming in the
He's playing
bathroom.
the fucking drums in the back.
So I don't know if you want to talk about yours, but we got I ordered the shirts yesterday, so in 2 weeks, Flying Jew t-shirts will be out.
Shirts will be coming, patches will be coming, cups will be coming.
Look at this.
We got a full fucking display coming up for you, Lee. Lee's in charge of everything. Don't worry about nothing. We will let you know the release dates and get this fucking party started, all right? So for you motherfuckers who want to, who knows about 2 weeks?
I know about 2 weeks.
They don't know nothing. Wait,
Go to
relax.
leaside.com.
You still got to go down there and pick them up, and you might get hit by a fucking truck on the way up. Relax. Just tell them the shirts are coming. Put that money under the fucking mattress next to the dead tooth. And once you get it and the shirts go up, you got money for the t-shirts and everything. They're going to be cheap. They're tremendous quality shirts. We got Flying Jew fucking radio and Church of What's Happening Now. That's
Just
what we do
Flying
it for you motherfuckers.
All right.
You know, we're all trying to put it together here every day, and I try to switch it up on guests and times just to keep it a little bit more interesting for people. That's all I'm trying to do, and to get the stories out there that inspire you, and we laugh and we goof around. But this is what the fuck it is. A Wednesday, it's a Tuesday fucking night. The Church of What's Happening Now. I ate the edibles. I went to jiu-jitsu today. I lasted, and it's a beautiful day to be alive.
Sweet.
I want to thank Jerry LaRoca. I want to thank Lazaro Boom Boom, my uncle, and I want to thank my main man in the house, the Flying Jew.
You gonna do a tournament soon?
No, I'm not gonna do no 20.
Why? You went to the little meeting and
Yeah,
the
I'm
little...
terrible.
So what?
Because I'm terrible. I
They
got
must
no
have white
cardio.
belt matches, don't they?
White belts for fat people over 50. Why would you insult me? You know what I'm saying?
That would be an
I
awful
think it'd be,
tournament.
I think it'd be
listen.
fun.
I will tell you when I'm ready. I have to start going to classes considerably 2 times a week at night and breathing, and I really have to put some work into this now that I'm not smoking no more.
Okay.
So it's going to take some
You,
time.
you noticing a big difference with that?
It is the scariest fucking thing because now I got too much fucking hair.
You're like,
Now, I'm expecting to be breathing heavy, and I'm not. So when I go, I'm getting too
It's
much
all coming
fucking
in.
air. Now it's all coming in.
Shit.
It's not getting lost in that reefer pipes, and that's what's going on with me. So it's amazing how your life works. I'm getting anxiety from it because now I'm getting too much fucking air. So hopefully I'll go to bed early. Like I said, I'll get up early, throw some kettlebells around, at least do 10 sets of swings in the middle of the fucking night right by my car outside like I did last week and get the fuck out of here. Get on that plane.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny? I was watching, you know how Vice has these video documentaries? You have this thing like a couple weeks ago where he said if you need a blowtorch to get high, you have a fucking problem. Vice did this thing with this guy in Colorado about the dabs. That shit is fucking scary.
It's scary.
They're blowing houses up. It's like a little
I
meth lab.
understand.
I'm
And
not
they have to take
here
a
to listen.
blowtorch and like they have to heat it up so high that it melts the wax or something. Jesus Christ.
Guys, I got high for 30 years. I'm a dirty fucking high. I love getting high, but there's some shit. There's a line I draw.
Certain things you don't mess.
I was telling somebody about heroin today. How I really, the first time I did heroin was at Gunter Brown's house, and I snorted it. And guys, I don't know what happened. You know, people yelled at me on YouTube when I told the story because they said you don't hallucinate. I was fucking 16. Who knows what the fuck I saw? I didn't see the Virgin Marys stripping. I did remember seeing something crazy. I remember puking. And I remember thinking to myself, even at that, when you do heroin, let me tell you something about heroin. You're in pain. That's deeper than your girlfriend cheating on you. That's something somewhere twitched.
Yeah.
And you went out there, and it's dark.
And it made you turn to that.
Because it's a dark high. And if you look at pictures of Clapton and Bowie, and through that
They do
age, you
not.
know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
Doesn't-
coke and weed. You could say looks fun. You see the whole like the guys just like
Yeah.
who like especially in the city they're just
Ones
like
are just nodding on.
Yeah, the ones that not. It's
And needles.
something that you never understood it, but you have to consider that person's pain. Where's that person's pain at? That they put themselves in that.
Yeah.
And even at that age, at 16, when I was going through what I was going through, I wasn't in that much pain. I needed to feel that way. And I made a conscious effort. And I did it again 2 years later. I must have done it again. Then I did it again in 94. And I did it again, 6 years ago, because I was just desperate. And it worked. It ended up cleaning me up from the blow. So the experiment that I did worked, but I wouldn't suggest it for anybody. But it was just, it's so weird, the levels of fucking pain. I don't even know how we got in this conversation, Lee. That's how fucking stoned I am.
with dabs.
Deep, baby.
The dabs. But I know one thing. I know that I didn't want to. I know that there's times I want to get high. Like, there was a couple years ago, remember when you come over and I had 3 big bongs?
Yeah.
And in my heart, it wasn't me. I wasn't even using these fucking bongs.
When you say big, you mean like they're like
They were huge.
from the
Remember those
floor
things?
to
They
like
were
above your
4 fucking
knee.
feet.
Shit.
Yeah, they were fucking huge. So it was the weirdest fucking thing that I didn't want those in my house.
It was always weird to me because you always smoked like the tabletop one, and I was like, you have these huge monster ones. Why wouldn't you go for
You know how
that?
many years I've been smoking pot? Let's get something out of the way.
Let's see, you're 51.
The truth. I've been smoking pot since
35?
1977, maybe. So that's 13
36
years. That's fucking 37, 38 years of my life, okay? If I tell you guys this, the weirdest Joey Diaz secret, I never wanted a bong in my house. You know why? It's too much commitment. I didn't want
Right.
to commit to smoking pot like that. I like smoking pot for who the fuck I was, not to
Right.
be like a cool guy. I never
Exactly.
smoked pot to be cool. I smoked pot because I needed it. I liked it, how it made me
That's
feel.
how my
at night,
mom is.
how it calmed me down, how it put me to sleep at night. It did all these good things to me at night. That's why I smoke pot, not because I want to hang out in high times and
Right.
be the comic of the month smoking dope or whatever. That's not what I want to do. But once, it's like blow. I like doing blow. And I went to a party one night and they were cooking it and blow torching it, and it wasn't for me. I don't want to see a fucking, if I need to blow torch something. So
It's
when
over.
I made that statement 2 weeks ago on Rogan, then I made it again on the church. I got a lot of people that got pissed off. Listen, man, I'm not judging you. What I'm saying is I don't want a fucking a tank, a fucking blowtorch on my tank next to my computer. I don't think it can't. I don't care how clean the high is or whatever. I want you to think about
It's not worth it.
what I'm fucking telling you. Nobody needs a fucking blowtorch on their fucking thing. I don't care how bad. Oh, it's a clean high. Don't fucking aggravate me.
Risk
Just
versus
think what I'm
reward.
telling you. It's a fucking blowtorch, no matter how the fuck you look at
end
it.
of the
So
day.
please, there's drugs that are fucking great. You think I want to be here with this fucking mutt and this fucking Jamal? Fuck no. I'd rather be in Chinatown getting my dick sucked from some Asian chick on 2 bags number fucking 2. Jerry, I'm gonna take that phone. I'm gonna fucking step on it in 10 minutes. With 2 bags of fucking number 2. I'm gonna do some fucking heroin and that's it. I don't want to do comedy. I don't want to take a plane. I don't want to see nobody from high school. I don't want to see nobody. But you can't do it because you know you're gonna end up fucking dead. Same thing with the blowtorch. Something's gonna fucking happen. Remember what's that combustion you learned in the 3rd grade?
Spontaneous
combustion. You take a paint can, you put a rag in it, and you put it in
Boom.
the attic, and eventually it'll fucking blow. Same fucking thing with that goddamn fucking torch in your living room. What if you leave the heat on? You know, the lady who takes care of the baby, she's a great cleaner. She's Mexican, but she always leaves the 409 by the
gas is
stove.
going.
Don't leave the fucking 409 by the stove. Anything could happen. Somebody could press the fucking the fucking toast and the spark comes out. I've read fucking crazier things.
Yeah.
You've heard of crazier fucking things.
No question.
Well, how did
Yeah.
that building go down? You're not gonna believe it. The maid left.
Yeah,
409 left to the
always.
fucking stove, and there was a spark or something.
Well, I don't.
It's always dumb shit. It's never anything amazing. It's always something stupid that sends it up.
And I don't know the full chemistry, so don't get mad at me. But the way they explained it in the video was they take a fucking thing of weed and like run kerosene through it, which doesn't seem
That's
safe
fucking
or
crazy.
healthy.
Or even a high. What are you doing at the hell? Fuck.
And then somehow you burn off the kerosene and you only get
don't you
apparently
just-
it's the most pure way to do it. But if you're like would
Jesus.
you eat bread soaked in kerosene? It doesn't seem.
It just seems to me, oh, look, if you have to do all this to smoke pot, you should probably be doing something heavier than pot. You know what I mean? Why, you know, like just maybe do
I
something.
have friends that I trust that own medical marijuana stores that I trust. That I go in there and I tell them what I want. I tell them the edible strength. We talk, and I can tell they're knowledgeable. Remember, if there's 20 medical marijuana stores, 8 of them know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
The other 12 are just fucking jerk-offs, like 90% of these fucking people walking around
Fly
going,
by night,
sativa,
open it
indica. They don't know. I'm talking about when you look a motherfucker in the eye and you go, hey, motherfucker, I want to get stoned. And they go, dog, this is the shit that
Yeah.
kill fucking whatever.
Yeah.
This is the shit. And you bring it home and you get stoned and you drool. There's certain people that tell you the truth. There's certain people, and there's a kid that I trust with all that stuff. And I said, hey, man, what do you think of this? And he goes, it gets you fucked up faster. But I ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks for pneumonia because of the chemicals in the lungs or something like that.
Yeah,
And
doesn't seem right.
listen,
You don't need
man,
that.
You're looking at me going, Joey, you're a fat fuck. Look at your face. Listen, whatever. I know that you're young. I don't want you to be 30 and go, fuck, I'm walking around with a cough because I smoke kerosene.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it's going to do 10 years from now. You know what? I don't want to know, but I do know one thing. I do know for all you fucking purists, God put it on this planet. It's a plant. So why the fuck are you adding kerosene to it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck are you adding kerosene to it? You know?
And did you hear about that baseball player today who talked about his struggle with addiction to marijuana, and he went to rehab, and he went through withdrawals? That was the funniest thing to me.
Do me a favor, send them an email. Tell them to suck my dick. Okay? People get addicted to marijuana. Tell them to suck my dick. 30 fucking years. I just quit 2 weeks, and it doesn't even bother me. I'm even smoking a vapor pen tonight. Don't get me wrong. I ate a fucking hubby bar and a gloomy bar.
Look at your eyes.
Right.
Your two eyelids are on different
Oh,
levels.
I'm fucking high as a kite. I love you, cocksuckers. Thank you for being a part of the church. Thank Jerry LaRocca.
Thanks
Thank
for
my
having
Uncle
me.
Lazaro. Thank Lisa Ayat. We're back next Monday. We're back Wednesday the 19th with Adam Carolla. We got some great guests coming up, so thank you fucking very much for... we got the live podcast, April something. Don't worry about nothing. We love you. Stay black. I want to thank all the sponsors. I want to thank everybody who reaches out to us. Mwah!
Now that the show's over, don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Hulu Plus. Well, that's my mic. Hold on. With Hulu Plus, lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcast and get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/Joey or go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Hulu Plus banner. Don't forget to sign up for dollarshaveclub.com. You get high-quality razors sent to your door each and every month for a fraction of what you pay at retail. Now go to dollarshaveclub.com/church or just go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Dollar Shave Club banner. Now that the podcast is over, remember to go to naturebox.com and order great tasting healthy snacks at half off, 50% off. Snack smarter than here with healthy and delicious treats like everything bagel chips and baked sweet potato fries. Support this podcast and get 50% off of your first order. Go to naturebox.com, promo code Joey. That's naturebox.com, promo code Joey. And for all of the hash and wax smokers out there, go to naileditlife.com, mention Joey Diaz with no spaces, and you get 20% off of the best vapor pen on the market.
Stay black, 5 seconds.
Aprendemos a olvidar, otros nos enseñarán a recordar como un diario para que el recuerdo sea